on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Try run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as they head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we tote all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they love how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. Then reload the clip and record the clip. It's go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Episode 254 of Vitamin G podcast. It has been way too long. I am so happy to be back with you guys. A lot has happened since we last been together. There's a ton of things going on in what's on my mind. Topic. Really great. Guys, I'm back with
What's up, peeps?
So let's kick it off with Omar. Omar, how you been?
I'm not the first, but okay. So, Astrobot Plat secured.
Congrats.
I love this game. That's GOTY. That's absolutely GOTY and a half. From the music, from the gameplay, from the callback. I'm just waiting on any new content from Astrobot at this point.
Well,
I know
we're gonna talk about that for sure.
it's already got announced, but I'm more interested in the not sequel, but like the follow-up, which is going to be the PlayStation Pro, because I know for a fact they're gonna introduce the Pro in Astrobot. They did that with the PS5, so I would not be surprised if them to do it with the Pro.
They would have already announced that.
Sorry?
They would have already announced that the Pro launch like a month.
Yeah, but I think it's a matter of them launching it and then make the demo for it, the level for it. Cause they update. But what I mean by that is we got the 30th anniversary. We got that updated in the game itself.
Okay.
If you go to the hub, there is an area you click on. You pull something off from the road, and it's a 30th anniversary photo shoot you can do. So I'm loving that game. two places where I'm like the difficulty spike went insane. One is the infamous duck level. It's a duck and lava area. Everyone in the month that played Astrobat that I've seen have suffered from this level. And the final one is literally the final level after beating the game, which I beat in 20 minutes, which not that hard. But what I am excited is the DLC. It's bringing with it time trials and stuff like that. And when it comes to Astrobot, their time trials are always on the fair side. If you optimize your stuff, you're gonna get there. So, yeah, I can't stress it enough. From the music and I know you're a big Omniaja fan, right, Pharaoh?
Omni what?
Fair, are you there?
Omniaja.
Uh,
Um,
Never mind,
I
maybe
you
that's
can't
Jubei.
you can't hear me. I just
no, we can hear you.
Who you can't
wait,
hear me?
way you're pronouncing it. Omni.
Oh, Aminusha.
Oh,
Aminusha, I think.
Onimusha. Yeah, I'm a big Onimusha fan. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a callback for that one. Uh, uh, a demon sword or something like that.
hmm
But yeah, no, the game is insane. Like, I would be genuinely shocked if it doesn't win GOTY. Like, I would put it over Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I would put it over Stellar Blade. I didn't play Wukong, so I can't comment about that. Um, I know for a fact Wukong not gonna get anything because it's getting the
I
Hogwarts Legacy treatment.
highly
It's
doubt
getting the
that.
what treatment?
The Hogwarts Legacy.
Wukong. I don't think it's getting Hogwarts Legacy treatment. Like people were.
I don't know about that.
It's absolutely gonna get that, but we're gonna see.
Nobody was
I
telling
will.
you not to buy the game because
Oh no, you,
We're not. No, we're not going to bring up that whole controversy thing where that whole stupid woke stuff. We already got too much of that going on.
Yeah, no, but yeah, going back to it. Besides that, cause yeah, I played and finished Assassin's Creed India, which it's a small indie, not per se indie, but like a small Assassin's Creed game that is very fun between the normal gameplay and then you have the different gameplay where you need to run through a level and you need to do it quick. And the puzzling element, well, rather the platforming element, is entertaining. That I didn't mind. Like, I didn't die a lot. I had a blast with it. I do recommend it. Playing Assassin's Creed India, highly recommendable. Besides that, I finished a game called Ani Anodyne. It's a weird game. It's so difficult to explain.
I have to explain it now. Maybe.
Sorry about that. The
Maybe.
basically like what you call it, old school Zelda. That's the most I can talk. I can
Oh,
link it to.
kind of like Tunic. I guess Tunic's like.
Yes, in a sense, yes, but Tunic is way more fleshed out, I would say.
Okay.
It's an indie game. It's a short game as well, not so long. I enjoyed it for what it is. There is a part two, but I'm not gonna focus on that right now. What I did get is Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 5, and I also got Unicorn Overlord for the PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the final game that I'm playing as of right now, literally right now, it's a game called Bloomtown. Give me a second so I can get a game name. Bloomtown, a different story.
Huh?
And what can I say about this game? Okay, so Loki, no joke, Persona 5. They literally went to Persona 5 and said, okay, what can we copy about Persona 5? The gameplay, check. The music, check. The characters, not per se that much, but still, check. The concept, check. The enemies, check. Yeah, no, it's Persona 5, but in an endearing way, if that makes sense. It's like imitation, but in a flattering way. I recommend it. It's a turn-based, of course. Basically, you're a little girl with her brother that just moved in with her grandpa because of some house stuff which we don't know about, and you're trying. Basically, you actually get your powers by making a deal with the devil. I'm not joking. It's an actual contract with the devil. It's laughable. Uh, the game is built around humor. If you don't like dark humor, don't play this game. If you don't like turn-based, obviously don't play this game. And like Persona, you can catch different demons and make them your pawns, which it's a great game. I'm enjoying it. The only thing I would say is it's a little bit on the buggy side, and most importantly, it's so far I know is if you finish an area, you can't go back to it. So you need to make sure that you have done everything before moving on from an area, because there is no manual save. Everything is auto saved, and you can go back 3 or 4 save files. But yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah, a lot of games, lot of playing, but yeah, that's it.
Um, Bro, Mar's been busy. Good to hear. A lot of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kick it over to the controller master himself, Nappy Tension. How you been, man? What you been playing? What you been up to?
I've been doing good. As if you guys probably haven't gone to my YouTube channel before this show, probably you can go there after this podcast. I have completed the review for the 8-bit Do Ultimate C2 controller, the Wukong edition. So this controller review is up on my YouTube channel right now. It is a $35 wireless controller for PC and Android. And one of the best things is that it has a polling rate of 1,000 hertz, which gives it a 1 millisecond input latency with a wireless connection. Really good controller. Another controller I got in the mail. This controller I believe is coming out in 2 or 3 days, but yeah. So PowerA made a Fortnite edition controller based off of their new PowerA Spectra 4. So this is actually a wireless controller that is certified with Xbox to work wirelessly with Xbox. And let's just say for $100 controller, that's supposed to be $100 pro controller that's wireless for Xbox, that got that wireless dongle stuff situated, they definitely cut some corners. But yeah, I still got to use this controller more to figure things out. As far as gaming goes, I have been playing a lot of Wukong, Space Marine 2. My friend says I'm way far behind. I just haven't got a lot of time to game for that. And I actually played the Sword Art Online beta test that recently came out. And now that the game's fully out, you can pick up the Sword Art Online game. And I can happy to say that we finally got a decent Sword Art Online game. We have not had a good Sword Art Online game since Fatal Bullet, which was based off the Gun Gale series. So yeah, Sword Art Online fans, if you are looking for a game to play, definitely will highly recommend it. And also on the mobile side, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but just something released out on the store. I got the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, the very first Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm game, just came out on mobile 2 weeks ago. Literally Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm you can get on Android and iOS. It's like $13.
Why?
Touch control.
Why?
I don't know. It's on mobile now.
But why? Who is this for?
For people who want to play Ultimate Ninja Storm on the go.
I can do that already. It's called a Steam Deck. I can do that already.
But people don't have Steam Decks. Everyone got a phone. Everyone has a phone.
Phone, Don't
Everyone
hate on the
has a
phone
phone.
gamer.
I'm not hating on the phone gamers, but that game came out when I was in college. I don't
Yes,
care.
the game. Yes,
Like, if you haven't played it by now and it's still $13, nigga, that was almost that we're approaching 10 years ago.
Bro, Lunar Solar Story just got announced. I played that like 20 years ago.
I mean, look how beautiful this looks. Look how beautiful this is.
No.
What?
You're just a Naruto.
You're just not going to accept
not
it.
Not a Naruto hater. I 100% it Storm too.
Doesn't
Thank
this
you
look
very
cool
much.
though?
I will say that it's an interesting on-go option. Especially
I just
being
don't
able
know
to
why
play
you would.
native.
How do you do that? But no, how do you do the jutsu clashes on mobile? That I don't understand.
Actually, no. The touch controls are actually really good on this game. I bullshit you not. So sadly, this game doesn't have controller support yet, but the touchscreen controls are really good.
I was shocked at how they touch screen jutsu. Are you just going to sit there and spam the screen? Because that requires no skill. You don't got
no. Whoa! Yes, you have to press specific parts of the screen.
Nah.
Okay.
That sounds
good.
That
this
looks.
Look how lovely this looks.
The preference, what is a fighting game purist. So if it doesn't have a fight stick option available,
it's not worth it. It's trash. It's absolutely trash. It's
are
not
you
real.
serious?
Absolutely.
His standards are not the standards of the general public. Do not mind.
They're not.
He's somewhat irrelevant.
Dang, Jube, I didn't know you were like that, man. Like, damn, you got to use a fight stick for Ultimate Ninja Storm?
Why not?
For everything.
I mean, look, I got the characters.
Crazy.
It doesn't really require crazy directional input. It's all buttons.
This man got a $300 fight stick. Still never fought me fighters.
I have several. I have multiple. I have multiple multi-$100 fight sticks.
I'm just saying. Oh, and yeah. So that's pretty much game and stuff. And wait, are we doing a what's on your mind, or are we just going to skip over that?
That'll be next.
Okay, then. All right, and that's pretty much it for my intro. But just to let you know, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, the original Ninja Storm for the PlayStation 3 and 360, you can now buy on mobile, and it runs very well. It runs well on my S22, so there you go.
All right, as long as it runs well, I'll give it that. It is still the one with the best jutsus. They kind of cut a lot of the good jutsus out as they
well, they fixed up 4. I mean, what was it? The new generation, the remake or remaster. They fixed it up now, so it's a lot better than what it used to be. A lot of people
what I mean by that is it's like some of like the supers, like the supers are just more spectacular in the first one. And then they kind of relegated it to them not getting as much screen time in every other game, and it's literally like the ultimate jutsus have just gotten shorter and shorter with each game. So
yeah, I got you.
It's kind of sad.
All right.
I want to jump into Snappy.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's been a pretty good week. I got to play that Metaphor demo. I'm copping that. I'm copping it. It's like that.
I pre-ordered it today.
Pharaoh, it's like that. But get the demo so you can at least get your first like 6 hours in. That way, when you load the game, you're already 6 hours deep.
I heard it's like 5 hours long.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it took me about 6, and I was bullshitting. So, yeah, it really fun, extremely fun. I still need to get into Starfield's new expansion.
That launched yesterday.
It launched yesterday. Yeah, I have it installed. I just haven't, with work and everything else, I haven't had time to play. So, yeah, I'll be checking that out tonight for sure. I'm also in the process of moving all the stuff off of my internal hard drive for the Galaxy Black joint that drops in 12 days.
Oh wait, you got a new
What?
Galaxy phone?
It actually comes out in 12 days?
Comes out on the 15th.
Wow.
Wait, the Galaxy
Yeah.
dropping a new Fold or
No,
something?
the new Xbox.
No, the Xbox.
The Xbox, the one with all the little.
Oh, the Galaxy Xbox. Okay,
Yeah,
I
the
got
one
what
with
you're
all the
saying.
little speckles.
The glitter box.
Call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Short and sweet.
And
Just happy to play some games.
last but not most patient of one who knows how to. Zero. How you been? What you been?
What's going on, people? I've been good. I've been playing a little bit of stuff, man. MLB The Show 24.
Now, are you playing
I
that because of Game Pass, or did you actually buy it?
no, it's on. It's actually on PlayStation. It's the
nice.
game of the month, I think.
Oh,
for PlayStation Plus.
It made it to
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Thank God. Like that's like that is
Yeah.
Game Pass.
Caveat: I only bought the Show 22 because of Shohei being on it. That's the only show game I bought.
The Ultimate Edition. That cover is
Yes, it's
amazing.
cold. It's cold as hell.
It is amazing.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna play this. I just wanted the cover.
I bought The Show 23 just because I was very interested, and it's been like I hadn't played a baseball game in a long time, and I fell in love with The Show 23. And I just didn't get around to 24, and it popped up. I was like, yeah, let me play this. So I am currently working my way through the minor leagues, trying to get up to the majors. It's fun, man. I really have a good time with it.
I play it, and I never get out the majors. I mean, I never get out the minors. I never I never play enough games to get out the minors.
Well, as it stands, I'm supposed to be drafted in 2027. It's currently 2025 in my run.
Nice. You got 2 more years to prove yourself.
Yeah, I got 2 more years to boost up and get there. So that's really fun. It's a lot of games.
It doesn't take a long time to play a game, but that amount of games takes a lot of time.
Yeah. It takes a lot of
so
time for sure.
I throw on a movie, I watch some TV. I'm doing a little bit of MLB at the same time. I don't need to hear or actually pay much attention to what's going on. It's baseball. There's like, what else are we gonna do? Outside of that, playing Far Cry 5. I've been meaning to play Far Cry 5 for quite some time. And I've been slowly making my way through the Far Cry franchise. I just skipped 4.
Well, you just why you skip 4? I mean, I guess this it's either you like it or you don't. But damn, you skip 4?
Not through particular I want to skip 4. I played 1 and 2 and 3, and I was in a row, and I was like, I'm a little Far Cried out, so I took a break. And then I just got back in, and I was like, well, let me do 5 because I hear 5 is so good.
Yeah, the Seed. Everyone actually loves the Seed family. There are some really interesting families, and it's rare that we get video games that are based off of America and America's current politics and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Crazy old folks. So yeah, the Seed family is pretty dope. So I'm only maybe about 10 hours into the game, so I'm having a really, really good time playing it. So I can't wait to play some more. I'm sure Omar mentioned it earlier. I might have missed him, but the Plucky Squire. Definitely playing that. It's really good. It's clever. Like it's not like trying to be anything further than what it is. The closest I can think of is not necessarily in like game design, but I think in charm and scope is It Takes Two.
Okay.
Like if it's a game that thoroughly to me like knows what it is and doesn't try to step out any further than that. Like it can be more, you can tell from some of the stuff that they're doing, but I'm enjoying every moment I'm playing with it so far. And most importantly, the true game of the year, Balatro, is now out on mobile. It'll cost you about $10, but like,
oh, he's a mobile gamer now. Interesting.
It's the perfect mobile game. I'm a Balatro gamer, and so long as Balatro's on mobile, I could be a mobile gamer there. But it's again, I cannot sing its praises high enough. It's the easiest game to get into. It does not take a long time. Like you do one run and be done within maybe 15 minutes. And then you go back onto your day. And I've been sort of still dabbling in with the Marvel's Capcom collection. I just cannot really grasp too well with the PlayStation controller.
Yep. Felt.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need some controller. You need a
Sounds
fight
like you
pad or
need a
something.
fight stick.
Well, I think we talked on the last show. I was looking at that Hori, which I think I'm just gonna go get it. It's only $60, so like even if I don't like it, it's $60. What does it matter? But then I saw, and I think Nappy, you've mentioned it before. Is it the Victrix?
The Victrix, yeah, the Victrix BFG controller.
For
Yeah,
like
BFG.
150?
Oh, it's a 150? That controls are usually like 170, 180. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So still the same thing. I was like, I don't. It's challenging for me to want to get something like that specifically for, because I don't get it for Marvel's Capcom. I can play other fighting games just fine with the PlayStation controller. It's just Marvel's Capcom that is the problem.
I would check out Prime.
Interesting.
Prime Days.
I guess I could check out Prime Day and see what they're talking about. Yeah.
Oh shit, we got Prime Day next week?
8th and 9th.
Damn.
9th Prime.
Well, I ain't paying for shit.
And then you got 8th and 9th Prime Day, and then you got Black Friday.
Yeah, it's crazy because, quite frankly, all I really want is a modern day Dreamcast controller. That's what I played. That was my bread and butter for playing Marvel's Capcom 2.
A modern day Dreamcast? Does that even exist?
Yeah, like just somebody make the Dreamcast controller
And
just
the fact that
for
Nappy has
PlayStation
the
or
back
Xbox.
button is wild.
I know, like he'd be like, don't I have the controller for you?
No, I'm just like because the only thing I think of is the Retro Fighter, and the Retro Fighter modern day Dreamcast controller isn't really a Dreamcast controller. It's not that great. So I don't see any other company with a Dreamcast controller. Holy shit.
Speaking of controllers, not the whole Phil Spencer thing. I thought that was
Wow.
No.
Oh, with the X button?
yeah, the whole
Yeah,
X
that shit was
button, the
funny.
whole X button drama because
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation changed the X button. So like this is where the X button is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Funny. Oh.
Otherwise, that's it, man. I have not gotten a chance to get into Remnant 2 with Kofi. So I'm just holding off because the new DLC just dropped. So I'm sure we will get in there sometime soon.
Now, is this the last DLC that you have to Kofi?
Yeah, I think this is the third and final DLC, including a free update boss rush mode, which sounds like an absolute blast.
Yep.
Pharaoh Zero, did you get any bugs or glitches with Plucky Squire? Because I beat the game, and one thing I had an issue with is how buggy the game was.
I had one in the very beginning. I couldn't. I don't even know what it was doing. You know how you pick up the words and like put them down in different places.
Mm-hmm.
I could pick up a word. I couldn't put it down. So I would have to like jump and throw at the same time, and then it would throw.
Mine was the book would open, but I can't put it on a page. Like I was stuck in the book entirely, and I've seen a lot of people with that issue. So I was curious if you had that issue as well. But okay,
you do bring up a good point. Like the word thing was very early in the game for me, and it did stand out because my first thought was like, "This is a pretty small game." I'm shocked that this is an issue for this. Just because in my head I'm like, I can't imagine it would have taken so much. So it's I guess it's a little disappointing to hear I might be in store for a bit more bugs along the way.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I still like the game. I do think it's still really charming. I'd love to see an expanded idea on this.
I agree, but the game as a whole, I gave it like a 6. Mostly because of the bug and glitches, but also because of how one-tonish it became. It just became boring gameplay-wise. But yeah, we'll see what your end score is going to be.
Yeah, let's circle back to it next week and see what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now let's jump into quick or what's on our minds. If you guys haven't seen our topic today, of course, game show, Palword Sued, and off. Um, so those are our topics. Anything outside of that, gaming that is on your mind, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to speak on it. But first, I actually have something nice to rock out first. And it's just several thoughts regarding. There was an interview that came out I saw today on Reverse that the director for Final Fantasy director and he's talking about they want to put the game on Xbox and just the wording of it that they want, but it just but they can't formally announce thing time for that. It me what's on my mind regarding my mic going. Oh,
You
that Adobe.
you good?
I'm just trying to. All right, let's see if that fix. But regarding the whole Final Fantasy 16 thing, and I got the perception that based on the wording that he um that PlayStation is kind of blocking them from putting it on the Xbox. And um and the reason I saw it and the reason I think that's because I played Final Fantasy 16 and in the credits is a lot of Sony directly in there. So I think Sony has um a lot more say so and where Final Fantasy 16 ultimately ends up than even the Final Fantasy 7 game that they locked up for time disc. I think they actually I'm pretty sure they actually helped development of 6. Um, and I think part of that we're kind of seeing little rifts in the relationship with PlayStation, Sony in that regards. You know, with Square not having a single character inside of Astrobot. So you know, at first I was thinking, maybe maybe that's the maybe I'm just reading into it too much because we saw the Near Automata character make it in um like Stellar Blade. But Stellar Blade is not a quote unquote a Sony studio. The Shift Up's not quote unquote a Sony studio. So um I'm really starting to think we're starting to see like some like Square fighting back against Epic and PlayStation right now, trying to get their games multi-platform. So I just found that to be interesting and wording. I don't know if anybody comment, but that's just the read that I'm getting on it. I'm just kind of interested where that goes. As far as the whole Square, PlayStation, Xbox there, and like really trying to uh going full multi-platform as opposed to this time to approach. That's something that I'm keeping on my keeping an eye on. That's kind of what's on my mind. I've also been paying attention to how it's doing on PC, which it has done pretty well on Steam. Um, from launch, I think one of the biggest, most egregious things they have some performance issues, and they didn't allow you to pre-download. So once the game went live, you had to download it then play it. So yeah, I don't think it was the greatest launch, but it has been supported pretty well on PC, and I hope it continues. Nappy, but with
Oh wait, you can hear me?
no, and I said nappy because you waiting. To come on TV.
Yeah, and I'm just like enjoying other games.
Yeah. So that's on that's what's on my mind for the what's on your mind segment. Anybody have anything that's on their mind or do want to comment on what I said? If so, if you got something on your mind, the floor is open. First person.
Well, I got two things.
Got that.
Okay, so this first part is going to be kind of a two-parter. So you guys remember about Nintendo Switch emulation? Yeah, Nintendo
that site just got
just
shut
took
down.
down Ryujinx, which was the second Switch
I
emulator,
saw that. Yeah,
has been officially been shut down today as of 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I was part of the Discord and the admin put a heart sincere message saying that Nintendo gave him basically this ultimatum and he took it and was decided to shut it down. So there is now officially no I'm sorry, not Super Nintendo. There's no more Nintendo Switch emulators on PC right now, which is crazy to think about. But at the same time, in ways I kind of understand because I mean, Nintendo Switch is still out. It's just it just sucks to see emulation go away. Now, yes, I'm still fortunate to have both the Yuzu emulator and the Ryujinx emulator on my computer, but yeah, we officially have no more Switch emulators on PC. Also, and the second part to that is Nintendo has been going on a channel strike raid. So they have been striking channels for showing their games being emulated on anything that isn't Nintendo, which to me is like that sucks. So like there was actually one like YouTuber who was like Retro Pocket who basically reviews stuff like these cool like Amberneck devices where you can emulate like Nintendo games, Game Boy Advance and 64, all that stuff. And yeah, he got a bunch of copyright strikes. Well, he didn't get all of them, but one did stick on his channel. And some other channels they show that you can't. They got copyright strikes just for showing that they're emulating Nintendo games on devices like this and phones and PCs and whatnot. So yeah, you can't show any of Nintendo's IPs being emulated currently. So yeah, Nintendo is kind of a subtopic to that with one of our topics, but yeah, Nintendo has been going on a sue raid lately. And on a good I'm sorry, go on.
Nintendo, I won't be surprised if years from now we'll get some type of 60-minute special about Nintendo actually.
Right. And also on a brighter news, if you guys are a big fan of the Nier Automata series, the Nier on Crunchyroll, the Nier Automata version 1.1 show has officially completed. So their last episode aired last Friday. So now you can watch the whole season on Crunchyroll. And I will say, if you are a big Nier Automata fan, I highly recommend you watch the show, the TV series. It was actually really good, and it gives you a lot of backstory behind a lot of stuff for you. And then it also relates going all the way back to like Dragon Guard all the way up to Nier Automata, and it's a really good show. The way out they did change some stuff up, but it's good, especially A2. They definitely went into the backstory of A2 story.
So I was is the anime quality actually really the art quality actually anime is like kind of
no the art quality is actually really good. It is really good. Trust me, they make sure to show off the assets.
No, I'm just asking because there's certain video games that get anime that end up on Crunchyroll, and it's just the art kind of low budget.
Yeah, no, this one was actually really good. That you could
Scarlet Nexus was one for me where I was like, oh, I was excited for the show, but then it was like it was like such a downgrade from the game visually. I was like, it didn't really.
Yeah, no. I will say so. I will say, in some episodes there are some like 3D models that will throw you off, especially when they get into their like little glider ship things. But other than that, like the second half of the season, they really put all their effort into like the animations. Okay. And overall, the show's actually really good. It gives you like we got a deeper backstory in the Pascal. We got a deeper backstory in the A2. It's like I said, if you are a big Nier fan, then go on Crunchyroll and watch the show. That the whole season's there for you to watch.
Does anyone else that on their mind?
I got a little thing.
All right.
As someone that plays Dokkan Battle, I wanna say I absolutely hate the RNG in that game. I've been getting shafted for months on these damn banners, and I'm tired of it.
Oh, we want to talk about games we're mad
But
at. I'm still mad at Madden.
yeah, you should still be mad at Madden.
They deleted everyone's franchise for like a whole day.
Oof.
Saw that, right?
Yep.
And they still haven't added in the custom content. Still can't do custom jerseys.
No custom jerseys or playbooks.
And they don't have the upgraded custom. And
Oh no.
And the game's been out for how many?
Oh wow.
They added
August 2.
Yeah, they added August. So like 6 days. I think that's you're past the grace period. Apparently. No. Didn't launch the game feature completely.
Nope.
Or just games in general. It's broken. Yeah, is that it for you?
Yeah, I think it's something small.
All right.
Something to cry about.
Zero. Y'all got anything game related that's on your mind y'all want to hit on?
No, we're gonna cover everything in topics right now.
All right.
Yeah,
cool,
I'm good.
Cool.
I don't got enough.
All right.
Oh, maybe Zero will have, yeah. Go ahead, Zero.
No. I don't have anything. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh.
All right. So with that said, we finally made it to the topics. I just want to encourage everyone who's here to like, subscribe, share this out. We really appreciate you guys being here. And with that said, let's dive into topic number 1 of the day, which is pretty much the Tokyo Game Show. Sony decided to do a show pre-Tokyo Game Show. They had their own state of play. They showed several games. And I'm gonna let our panel have a chance to talk on those games that they saw, what they liked, what they didn't like, grade, all that, as well as Xbox. They had a show that was actually a part of the Tokyo Game Show. And before I give any grades, I thought both shows kind of hit in areas that I felt that hit. I felt like I think Sony probably had the best show in a long time, and I think Xbox did a pretty good job of showing their expansion of Japanese to the platform. In all, I think both shows are. But yeah, let's give the panel a chance to get their thoughts out, and yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna start off with Omar. He can Xbox and PlayStation show.
Oh, you're starting with me. Okay, let's go.
So go ahead, give your thoughts. What were your thoughts on the PlayStation show?
Oh, I'm gonna start with the Xbox show.
You want to start the Xbox show? All right, cool.
Yeah. Xbox is evolving. What do I mean by that is we're seeing them accepting Japanese game that in the previous they would have never gotten. And I love that. I would love to see if the Xbox fanbase is going to embrace that or not. The Mana franchise is now on Xbox. Congratulations. Final Fantasy remaster, or rather the anniversary edition, I think, on Xbox. There are quite few games that are going to Xbox. I'm not sure if it's multi-platform or not. That are very interesting. Like you have that mecha turn-based game. It's an indie game where you see characters fly on a mecha, and then you turn around and you see it like gameplay turn-based. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw that game. That game, I can't think of the game's name right now, but I know what you're talking about. And that game did look really interesting.
Yeah, you have that. You have another thing which was super, super, super interesting is the game that closed it. I don't know what's called. It's like some fire and some stuff. It's very animated wise. Yeah, I should have memorized the names.
The game that stuck out most to me was the one where you get the um kind of like astral project yourself into other people's bodies, like fight.
Oh, you slither,
Yes,
slither face
Slitherhead or something
or
like that.
something.
Yeah, Slitherhead.
Slitherhead, yeah, Slitherhead. Yeah, Slitherhead was great. What I like about Slitherhead is it reminds me of two games combined. It remind me of Prototype, the way you can switch, the way you take over characters in Prototype very quickly. And it also reminded me of Watchdog Legion, how every character is expendable. That you're basically not a character, you're an entity now. And I like that concept. I'm curious if it's going to PlayStation, I'm not sure. The game that I was talking about that I am excited about is called Threads of Time.
Huh?
It's
Yeah, I tweeted about that game. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Another game that I'm interested in is Tanuki Palm Summer. It's you're basically a Tanuki riding a bicycle. It's Japan of Japan can be. Um, I love the revival for we love Katamari roll reroll. Besides that, Atelier Yumia was
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
impressive as heck.
that looked really good.
First off, it's the first Atelier game on Xbox. Second, it's the first, I think, Atelier game skipping the turn-based genre and going actiony. And from the look of it, it's looking real good. Shippuden 1 and 2 remastered, like I'm excited about that. The mecha game that I was talking about called The Starbite Taste of Desert. Again, you have Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, and yeah, all by all, Xbox nailed it. They absolutely did. When it comes to showing their commitment to Japan, and when it comes to showing that they have changed, that they are okay with wacky games on their platform. I'm giving to them an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Like, I really enjoyed it. Switching gear to the PlayStation Showcase, or yeah, I'm gonna put Ghost of Yote aside because that's a competition on its own. For the show itself, we start off. It's already got leaked to me, but the revival of what you call it, Soul River remaster 1 and 2. I'm so hyped for that. I remember playing the demo, but never actually playing the game. So that's gonna be a great game for me to sink my teeth into. Besides that, we have from the creator of Lost in Random, we have a new game about you being almost like a devil kid. That it visually very cool character looking, and the combat is interesting. And then we switch gears to another game that almost look like a soul like that I'm also interested in. And beside the most unnecessary remake ever, which is Horizon Zero Dawn, that no one and their mother asked for it. They hit us with God of Yote, which we had the rumor that we're gonna get a new goat. We had the rumor that they are working on a new goat. And the interesting part is you're not playing as Jintekai, but you're
Yes.
playing as a different character now.
Yeah, the game takes place like 300 or 400 years.
No, 300 years
Yeah, I said 300 or 400.
later.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I heard you saying 3 years. Sorry. So Goat is long gone. Jinteka is long gone, and it's interesting because I want to see what are you going to bring to the table gameplay wise. Are the um what you call it, the animals, are they gonna be part of the gameplay, or are they just gonna be there to guide you to the collectibles like the previous game? We know that she can dual wield because in one cutscene she have two swords in both hands, so dual wield is confirmed. We also know that she gonna wield a gun, and another weapon is like almost like a chain with a kunai at the end. So I'm excited. It looks way more impressive than Ghost of Tsushima, especially the scope from what we have seen so far. I'm like, yeah, no, I just want to see the gameplay. I want to see how are you going to improve the formula that Ghost of Tsushima 1, and also more importantly, how are you going to evolve Legend? Is Legend going to come back? Are we gonna see co-op or something of such? Like they can take it so many ways. It's not even funny. And I would give the PlayStation Showcase a 9. It's between the amount of remake. Oh yeah, I forgot to name it. Lunar remake or remaster. I forgot what it's called.
It's a remaster. It's a
That
remaster.
yeah, yeah, that's another game I'm excited about. So when you get down to what PlayStation achieved is a lot of games that I'm excited about to play, and the bomb that was God of Yote. Very quick. I'm gonna add it in. It was the God of not the Death Stranding 2 showcase. I watched it. A lot of talking that I didn't understand anything of it. What I will say is from the um, photo mode alone, it leaps and bounds of anything that I've ever seen from any game, photo mode wise. So I'm super excited about what Death Stranding 2 is going to bring to the table. Yeah, all by all, both shows killed it, and I'm looking forward to what's next for PlayStation. What other IPs are they working on? Show us.
Sure.
Oh, and as I said, one of the worst remakes to be revealed, a Horizon Zero Dawn remake that nobody asked for.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm a huge Horizon fan, so yeah.
I'm somewhat surprised that your rating for PlayStation is so high. I'm right there with you on Xbox being a B. I gave PlayStation more of a C plus. I do think it was one of their better
Yeah,
shows.
that's it.
I
Yeah,
do
go ahead.
I do think it was one of their better shows, but kind of the things that kind of knocked it for it was that you showed you um Ghost Ghost of Yote. I thought Ghost. And I said it in the group chat. I said I thought Ghost of Yote was a very strong announcement, but for me, for some reason, the trailer just didn't hit. Like I
The
recognize
trailer didn't hit?
the trailer didn't hit for me. The
What do
game
you mean by it didn't hit?
it just wasn't a strong trailer for me. Like
Mm.
the
Okay, so
the announcement was strong. I said it in the chat. I said the announcement is strong, but the trailer just isn't really doing it for me right now. I needed them to
uh,
show. I needed to just see a little bit more from that game in particular.
I
And
can understand why. Do you remember how they revealed Ghost of Tsushima
yeah, but
teaser?
I remember seeing the Ghost of Tsushima trailer the first time and being like in awe of it. So I guess when I first like I'm comparing it to when I first saw Ghost. When I first saw Ghost, it drew so much curiosity and interest in me when I first saw it.
But because you know what Ghost is, you're not gonna be that. I get you on that
No,
end. I get
that's what
you.
I'm saying. That's kind of it fell short for me there. Like I recognize it's a strong announcement, and I know Ghost of Yote is going to be a great game. If it's anything like Ghost of Tsushima, and make a couple of enhancements, it's going to be a great game. Got to land the story part of it. But
That's the thing with me. Oh, go ahead.
and really the biggest knock for me during the show was that you showed this new Horizon. And yeah, you said that it was boosted up the Horizon Forbidden West levels of fidelity, but there's no PS5 Pro enhancement announcement with it. And to me,
I mean,
that's a big knock to me when you got a brand new piece of hardware coming out in a couple months, and the only thing announced that is PS5 Pro enhanced are older games. You're about to release a couple of new games. Just released Astrobot, and none of these games are quote unquote PS5 Pro enhanced. Yeah, like that's kind of to me
we
that's what hurt the show the most to me was that you got new hardware coming out in 2 months, and none of the titles that you announced that are coming out are PS5. That was more what hurt the show more to me than anything. That's what kind of dropped like a
we already know that Assassin's Creed Unity is not Unity.
Shadow.
Shadow
But
is
that game got pushed back into February,
yeah. That game got
Yep.
and that's not their game. Like you had a chance to announce your games were going to be PS5 Pro, and none of them
I
are. And
think I think
that's where it drew a lower grade from me. I do think it was their best show in a long time, but being that you
I
just announced
think
new hardware, that's where it
I
fell short
think
for me.
you need to understand that for PlayStation, all their games are gonna be pro enhanced.
No, but
I,
no, I don't need to understand that. They need to tell me that. I'm not supposed to assume that.
okay, I get you on that end.
Because that is if I purchase that PS5 Pro and none of those games are enhanced, and it was just my job to assume they would, then that's bad on my part as a consumer because I didn't go out and research and make sure, and that's bad on their part because they're not making that information available to me. They gave me a list of games that were PS5 Pro enhanced, and none of those games included newer games.
In my opinion, if a game is for the pro enhanced, it should be in a different section. It shouldn't be in the PS5 section. It should be they should have a section of its own where it says PS5 Pro games. This way you can know which games are enhanced and which aren't on the store. As
I
for
agree.
the
I agree as far as their store
as
goes.
for as for the show itself, me myself, I'm not getting the pro, so I never even bothered with it. I did see myself. So here's the thing. Even in my own group on our podcast, I gave this show a 9, and every one of them gave it like a 7 or a 6.
Okay.
They were not that impressed. But for me, what made it so impressive was the callback to older titles that I never got to play.
Okay.
Lot of random games that I want to play. Getting a not sequel, a new game from their studio, something that I look forward to. Um, Combine that with Ghost of Yote. Like there is significant amount of games that I'm excited about versus the dog shit that is Forbidden West. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and that was so scummy that they pulled the Horizon Zero Dawn and then raised the price of it right after the show.
I mean, if they gave that game away for free. They did.
Yeah,
They
but
absolutely did.
the thing is, when they give
They
games,
did.
when they give games away for free, a lot of times they don't allow you to do the $10 upgrade.
No, you can. You absolutely can.
Okay, if you can, then
And
that's great. But I know, like
yeah,
I remember they gave
they
away.
gave it for free. They gave a discount on it and so on. So only now that the remake is coming and now are people gonna buy it? Like, but here's the thing about the remake. The remake is so unnecessary. It's not like with the remake you're gonna finally get 60 FPS. You already have 60 FPS on the original Horizon.
Yeah,
Yep.
We actually got that literally after the announcement of the delay for Forbidden West.
Yep.
They upscaled Horizon to 60 FPS. So I have absolutely no idea why you as a gamer would ever play Horizon Zero Dawn right now if you have not already played it in the past. But
yeah,
that's just me.
yeah. I agree. Let's swing it on over. So being that we're covering both topics at once, see, I'm gonna throw it to the opposite spectrum. Jube,
Yep.
what were your thoughts
Yeah.
on these two shows that we got pretty much like what 2 days apart? So
Yeah. I'm gonna start with the PlayStation show.
okay,
Um,
the Xbox guy starts with the PlayStation show,
of
guy
course.
starts with the Xbox show. One of them days. Opposite.
So I saw a fuck ton of really cool shit at Sony's
Yeah, sure.
show. Like, yeah, I never like Omar. Actually, I've never fucking played Soul Reaver. I only played the demo. I never actually bought the game or owned it. So that was a miss for me. Like I can play it now. Like that was something to be excited. I've also never played Luna at all.
Oh, you gotta play
So
Lunar. Lunar is
I
such a
know
good game.
getting the opportunity to do that.
You might want to get it
Is
on.
it, like
You might want to get it on a Steam Deck.
we'll see. We'll see.
It depends. I'll say it depends on how pervy you are.
Okay.
Because they have
Yeah.
like these like what is it, these hot tub scenes, and like they're kind of they're blurred out on the PlayStation and Xbox version. They might not be blurred out on PC. Like I said, depends
On Steam. Okay.
on how pervy you are.
Also, you also can get it on GOG, so you can get the DRM free version. Just heads up.
Yeah, that comes out in
Okay.
in what, May though? About next
Yeah. Ghost getting a sequel was just dope. But like Pharaoh, I too felt like the trailer didn't really do much for me because when they dropped that first joint, I was like, yeah, like y'all got to show me shit else. I'm already sold. They didn't have to show me shit else to that game. Like it is huge. Like I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play it. So I'm not mad at it. It's just I don't think that they showed it in the best light. This Horizon Zero Dawn remaster though, as someone who finished that game relatively recently, nah. I honestly wanted it to be actually a remake of Days Gone, and they tell us all about how it's going to be pro enhanced and this and that.
You
And
actually want a Days Gone remake, which
I would
the rumor
because
is coming.
technologically, we're that game is going to be fine. You feel me?
The one thing
Let him cook, everybody. Let him cook.
I'm gonna give you one as far as the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. The only way that the remaster would make sense to me is if they brought the Forbidden West combat so much better that they brought the Forbidden West combat system to Zero Dawn. That would be the only way it would make sense. other than that,
I don't think that happens. You'd have to fundamentally change Zero Dawn on the left. I mean, we're getting into remake territory, not just remaster.
I'm just
Too much would change.
but I'm just saying that's the only way it would make sense to me is if you
what
brought
what they did is they brought the the character design
The character
from
models,
Forbidden
yeah.
West into the remake, into the original one. That's why.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing. That's the only reason it would make sense. Like first,
Yeah, but no, Donkey of the Day, fucking most unnecessary remaster goes to for fucking Zero Dawn. Like literally nobody asked for this. You have a Zero Dawn Lego or a Horizon Lego game coming out, and you're gonna hype up
when is that game
a
coming out?
remaster?
I didn't even see that game at the show. When is it coming out?
No, it was at the show. It's coming in November.
Okay.
Don't.
I say I didn't remember seeing it. I guess
Nah,
Zero Dawn kind of just took over my mind.
They actually announced the date on the show. So
Okay.
yeah, it's on
it,
November.
It must have skipped my mind. So
My biggest issue with the show though, and what kind of takes it, like, it's not going to be more than a 6.5 for me because of, along with what else I said, but because of this, it's like you have a $700 console coming out, like Pharaoh said, in 2 months, a month, whatever, what have you. I wanted them to use this show to market that shit.
I mean,
that was a slam dunk opportunity to be like, hey, you know, Ghost was running on, PS5 Pro or some shit. You know what I mean? Like there's little things like that. You didn't have to go into too much detail, but like you could have did shit like that.
All right.
Like I just feel like them just not, like, I wanted everything that I saw better have a pro enhancement.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense why it doesn't. You're the market leader. Nobody's gonna tell you no. If you want it pro enhanced, you can get it. So,
are you getting the pro?
Huh?
Are you getting the pro?
Oh, I talked about this in the group chat.
Yeah, you already did. My bad.
What I do want to say, I want to ask both of you this. Well, I give you both of a chance to comment across the PlayStation. Was it just me, or was the VR portion the best part? Like VR was so strong.
Absolutely.
And no one's talking about it, but that was the strongest part of
it. But that's sad though, because I don't own a VR set and I don't care.
But they were but it was good to see that they had so many
great
VR games. Yeah, so many great VR games.
Oh, absolutely. I will give them props for that. Like, they're finally marketing the damn thing.
Hey, what's the VR going for, by the way?
I don't know.
Is it still?
I think it's like in the 300s.
It ain't dropped.
I think it's like in the 300s.
PSVR 2?
It has dropped. Like $300 something.
I can go into a GameStop. That bitch is still $500.
It was it was three something like just 2 months ago.
It was on sale. I bet you if you check the price now, it is not on sale.
Okay.
At least looking at GameStop, it's about $400 for GameStop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, you're looking at $1,100 for the premium package.
Still down from $550. Was $550? It costs more than the original PlayStation.
Well, if you grab it from Amazon, it's $530.
Damn. Amazon not having the best price.
At least now they showed you some games that made it worth considering first, because that was a very strong VR show.
Yeah, for VR, but I wanted them to make a stronger purchase push for the Pro.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't care about VR. That shit hurts my it's not gonna happen. Not really. Not for me. And that's all right. People enjoy that. But it definitely won't be enjoyed by me. So, no, I wanted them to just focus on some pro shit. I didn't get it. So because of that, I just can't. Like, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of silence everybody and be like, this is why. Because I still don't know really who it's for. It's for people that feel like buying it. As far as the Xbox show, just seeing all the, I have played Katamari this week. Actually, I forgot to mention that. That was a little blast from the past. I was like, yeah, I'm right back on the PS2. yeah, just seeing. I bought the Pixel remaster like as soon as I saw it, and was like, "Yep, I'm going to get it." Yeah, like they for them for a Japanese showcase, I think they nailed it. And of course, seeing a little bit more metaphor and then checking out that damn demo. Um, I need them to continue. Like, I need to be consistent with this when it comes to their Japanese shows. So like, yeah, like very well done first attempt. Like they definitely get an 8 for me. Um, if they had showed 16, I would have gave them a 10. But
Sounds like PlayStation
an 8
locking
is
that
still
up.
very respected. Huh?
Sounds like PlayStation locking that up.
Yeah. Hell, I wish PlayStation would have shown, hey, this is a Black Myth Wukong running on the Pro. Like,
Hey, anything.
I would have took that. I
Anything.
would have took anything.
I do hope that 7R and Final Fantasy take it over to Xbox. As of right now, Xbox is the only platform to play all the mainline fantasy, Final Fantasy.
Yep.
Um, but anything else that you have regards?
No. I mean, average it out. It's still a B overall. Like, both shows were good. It's just Sony just kind of hurt my feelings by not showing us a reason to really buy the Pro when they had a big opportunity to do so.
I just paid $700 and I don't know.
For one, ray tracing effect at that too.
Nah, they ain't show that.
But
no. Yeah, I mean, good shows, solid shows.
So
the game awards better show me something. Or I'm probably gonna sleep.
Yeah, I don't even know when the Game Awards is. It's usually November. Got a month for that. With that, let's get this Nintendo head back. I know you were dancing around in Nintendo Land over in Tokyo, smacking up Palworld people, striking down these emulators. But in between then, what did you think of these two shows that we had last?
Well, I'll start with the Xbox show, which was probably my favorite of the two. Which I thought was really good. First and foremost is like Xbox. Thank you for like showing me stuff I can look forward to on this thing. And some big hitters like Slitterhead looks awesome.
Yeah.
And what's that game? I think it was like Sin Duality, sort of a PvP PvE game. Gave me a little bit of not Warframe, but what's the new game? What's the game with the bunny girl?
Oh, First Descendant.
Yeah, gave me some First Descendant vibes. I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. But I was really impressed. I know they're all sort of older games, but their sort of commitment to this Japanese catalog. Like, everyone should play Katamari, some game in the Katamari series. It is one of the most delightful games to I think ever have been created.
It's just so silly. Like it doesn't take it so serious. Like it's silly as hell.
On top of that, everyone, if you're a JRPG fan, everyone should play Suikoden 2. And the remaster's coming, and of course, I'm happy to see that they did a bunch of like quality of life things, like speed up battles and one-hit battles for like people who aren't, for like enemies who are weaker, so you don't have to sit there grinding and grinding and grinding. Like, that's the type of stuff you really need to bring to old JRPGs, I think, to make them viable in the modern day.
You're just trying to get through the story at this point. It's an older game. You just want to not trying to.
Yeah. That's actually one of my favorite things about Metaphor is you can one-shot enemies that you're just stronger than, and like the overworld without having to go into fucking turn-based. It's great.
Yeah,
you need that.
That game, what was it? Is it the Star Bites?
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
Yep.
I don't get a full sense of it, but it looks interesting. I hate to say like it. I think it's just because it was desert. It immediately reminded me of what's Akira Toriyama's game? It's not his game, but with his artwork.
Curatorial.
Well, you got
Sandland.
Oh, Sandland.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
that is. I mean, it's not his game, but that is his verse. Like he wrote a manga.
Yeah, like because I heard Sandland wasn't that great.
The show's really good. If you get a chance to check out the show, the show is good.
Yeah, so I nearly got that, but I think that's just because I saw a desert setting. So that game looks fun, and I'm intrigued by it. So overall, Xbox, like, good on you. I love to see these games coming out. I'll be definitely going back to play some Katamari. Probably a couple of the Mana games as well. Glad to see Final Fantasy on there, which I know it's slowly but surely, inevitably, 7 and 16 got to show up eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean they got Crisis Core, so you gotta figure that 7R series will make it there. I think the biggest battle they're gonna have is 16. Like I said, I know that PlayStation created development and publishing.
That's true. So, that could be a lot tougher. So overall, really, really good show for Xbox. Like, thumbs up. On the other side of the pond, we've got Sony, who also gave a good show. I think I liked Xbox better than theirs. But Sony did do some things that I like the return of Lunar is great. Like, excellent JRPG to play.
I need y'all to buy that until they realize.
I'm with it. Lunar was such a fun little JRPG, and it always felt like when growing up, like nobody knew about Lunar. It was like overshadowed by Star Ocean and Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and all these other ones. But Lunar, this cool because it was the first time I think for me I saw sort of like a full anime cutscene in a video game.
It was the first JRPG that had a delightful cast of characters, like kind of in that era. Where you had the Xenogears and the Final Fantasy, like all these characters in Lunar really had their own personality that really had it. Didn't really necessarily get that in every JRPG at the time.
Agreed.
And they had voice acting. They were one of the first ones that had voice acting. They sacrificed the graphical quality to give you voice line.
Yeah, it was such a it was like a big deal back in the day, even though I don't think a lot of people just paid attention to it. Because Lunar came definitely after 7, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. It was like 98, yeah. I think it came out in 98, and Final Fantasy came out 96.
Yeah, so, but I don't think it could ever stand up to the juggernaut that was, particularly Final Fantasy 7 at the time. So it never really stood a chance. I won't spend a lot of time on Horizon. I've said it enough before. I don't really like Horizon. So, be it remaster, remake, sequel, Lego. The Lego version might intrigue me because I like Legos. But I'm just not a fan of that series. It doesn't click for me. So, good on everybody else who gets to play it again, I guess. Sure. The game I'm surprised nobody talked about yet. Midnight Walk.
Oh, the Midnight Walk game. That was actually what I was going to mention.
Yeah, it looks really, really good.
I'm refreshing myself on my phone. There were so many
the PlayStation.
There were so many games we saw. It was like,
yeah, we got a dearth of games.
Yeah.
But it's what's that? Not claymation, stop motion looking game that looks like claymation. Very similar to it looks like because RIP the actor who played Oogie Boogie, but Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
They trying to hop on a trend that South Midnight's trying to start.
Yeah, so I'm here for it. Like I like these I like a weird looking game.
Midnight Walk was one of the VR games. I mean, I know it comes in a non-VR mode as well. Yeah, it was one of the VR games.
I must have missed it.
Yeah.
I didn't see the VR part. I just saw a creepy character with the fire on his head.
Yeah, it's one of the VR games.
Speaking of VR, the Hitman game looks awesome.
Yeah.
I think that could be really, really fun to play and get around. Great to see Legacy of Kain come back. For those who haven't played it, it's awesome. Very, very good. The one game I was disappointed in that I saw and I was like, I wish this was something different was Fear the Spotlight. I was hoping we get a kind of spiritual successor to what is the name of that game? Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame. What?
Fatal Frame is like two.
That's an old.
It's an old game. Two Japanese girls who like capture or hunt ghosts with cameras.
Yeah.
It's a great game. They're an assist trophy in Smash. A really good game. But Fear the Spotlight was not at all what I thought it was going to be. Otherwise, I think largely that's it. Ghost of Yotai looks absolutely fantastic and made the show for me. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I think that game was just so wonderfully done. I know the team at Sucker Punch is just going to knock it out of the park again with Yotai. I can't wait. I'm personally glad they moved away from Jin. I just think Jin is. I think we said all we need to say with him.
Well, his story had a pretty definitive.
That's what I like to think, despite other folks not necessarily thinking so. But like, it felt pretty concluded here. Like, there's no need to beat a dead horse. And I like the actress, Erica. I think it's Ikishi. She occasionally plays Dungeons and Dragons with the old college humor crew, which is very, very cool. The freaking controllers and colors for the PlayStations are absolutely sick. That blue and that green is ridiculous. I want both of them.
They learned from Xbox. People love.
Controllers.
They love colors, and yep, they actually made a revision. You guys now have a fifth revision of the DualSense controller now. So that's.
Oh man, like I saw, I was like, Jesus, like this is like the reason to get a new system,
Nappy,
just because I wanted a different color.
This is separate from the whole showcase thing. But did you see before it leaves my mind that thing with PlayStation 5 and the controller?
The PlayStation 5 and where as you're talking about.
They are like the PlayStation 5s. Basically, they're like purpose overcharge your PlayStation 5 controllers that the battery dies faster.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I saw that. I don't agree with it,
So
but
it's only the newer PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro that have the firmware for your controller to charge properly.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't fully agree with it because honestly, like the PS5 is supposed to be the safest place, and I know they have like the ports in the front are supposed to be good for charging your PS5 controllers. Ports in the back a little iffy, but I doubt because that can possibly be like a whole nother like lawsuit right there, forcing people to get new controllers. I mean, that's what happened with something similar happened with Nintendo, but yeah, I don't know. I heard about it, but honestly, I already replaced the battery on my controller, so mine's good.
I've not done that for mine yet. Although I have two, so I tend to switch back and forth. So I imagine that.
I still have the first generation of DualSense. It's rocking strong.
I sit pretty close to my controller, so pretty close to my console, so my controller's always my PlayStation controller is always wired.
It's always wired, yeah. And the only last thing, the only game that matters in any of these freaking showcases, Monster Hunter Wilds, man. February 2020. February
I wasn't even going to mention that.
It didn't really show anything when it came to Monster Hunter Wilds.
They showed the
Monster
new
Hunter. Yeah, they showed the new map, the new biome. Yeah. That's all we needed to see.
Yeah.
And we showed the new, I guess, cover monster.
Going on 108. Appreciate you coming through.
So, listen, man, I'm here for it. I know Nappy will be in around my girlfriend's birthday, so I'll be in there the week after. But I will be in there.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day month too.
Yeah.
Oh, and congratulations on making the move. Congratulations.
No, I appreciate you.
Wait, what?
Oh, for those that I got engaged over the past.
Oh, congratulations, man.
I see you, bro.
So I'm trying to be an adult. I'm gonna leave video games behind and go do taxes. That's what adults do, right? Taxes.
About 20 years too late to join adulthood, Arrow, but
He said, "Leave games behind and do taxes."
Good lord.
And this is my last thing. I did forget to mention this. Hell is Us looks really cool.
Yep.
That little action sort of adventures or action
the horror games
slash game.
The horror game slap in the PlayStation. They show some great
Yeah, so that looks good. I'm also surprised we didn't see anything from Until Dawn.
That was horrible too, because the game Until Dawn drops next week.
Yep.
And I know a lot of it you don't want to spoil, quote unquote, but I feel like you can lead up if you're gonna remaster this whole thing for the PS5, which I don't even think was necessary because I still think it holds up pretty well on the 4.
They announced it, but who knows that it's coming out? Unless you're quote unquote a hardcore gamer, do you know Until Dawn's coming out? Because I haven't seen a lot of marketing.
I don't either, and it feels like the easiest. As a person who's played it, it's the easiest game to get non-hardcore gamer people to play. Yeah. But it also feels like the easiest game to advertise because it functionally operates as a movie. You just show a movie trailer.
I like the cast. I like the characters. I mean, I played the game. I like Until Dawn. Is it the greatest game ever? No, but it has a space, and it's a great game for this time of year, the holidays, the horror season,
Halloween season. Yeah,
people like them type of games. It's a great time for the game to come out, and just don't market it at all. Why did you remaster or remake? Market it.
I don't disagree, but I like both shows, man. I'm looking forward to what we got. I think, like Jibby said, now it's time for Keeley to show up with the Game Awards and show us to finish off.
But he's not going to show us anything. That's where we know Xbox is going to show it, which is interesting. Else size party for big announcements. Did Xbox was last year the year that Xbox had all the big announcements like Blade and OD?
Blade was definitely
that was
last year.
No, what was last year?
Yeah,
are we sure?
Blade, OD, and they showed something else last year. That was last year, right? It wasn't 2 years ago. It was definitely last
year. It was last year. It was in December.
It saw Kojima and Jordan Peele on the same stage. That was wild. I love it.
Yeah.
That said, I think Zero's done. So let's get our final panel thoughts on this subject. The head of the PC Master Race, the one who has placed the great Dante, and
damn, I must say replace.
Damn. What were your thoughts on these shows?
I'm probably gonna start off with the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 was it was okay. It was pretty cool for me. Like I said, the Ghost of Yota game I thought was really it looked really cool to me. It looks like graphically wise, it still kind of has the same graphics, but it looks like they kind of expand on different routes with more lush worlds, more NPCs on the ground. It seemed I'm glad they kind of took that approach because it's after that one showcase or reveal of the PS5 Pro, it makes sense that you guys care about performance over extremely high quality images. So it's really good to see that Ghost of Yoda is going to have more of a more NPCs and stuff because the game already looked good and looked good. It looks good on PC. It looks good on PlayStation 4. It looks good on PlayStation 5. So, the VR stuff I was really cool, but now you guys reminded me of the price of the PlayStation VR 2. It's okay. I can live without that. Monster Hunter Rise. I will always ride on Monster Hunter. The Monster Hunter game. It's just I'm waiting for Monster Hunter. I need it. And the last thing I remember, basically the Nightmare Walk was the last game that stood out to me. It was a creepy Halloween game. I like those creepy games that remind me of Little Nightmares 1, 2, and kind of sucks because I ain't seen anything about Little Nightmares 3, but the Midnight Walks looks like a little fun little horror game for me. So, and the Zero Dawn remaster, you guys talked about it. I thought it was kind of funny because I kind of chuckled a little bit because I was like, damn, I got this on PC already. I wonder if the PC got a remaster.
I want to ask you, as far as being a PC gamer, when this Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, drops. Isn't there gonna be like a mod and like comes out that gives you all this?
I haven't even seen I haven't even seen like the remaster coming out to PC, because the thing about it is like
it is coming out.
There is a remaster coming out. Why?
Because it gives you a lot of the same like outfits stuff. Like it.
No, I'm actually because I'm looking through it on Steam and I'm like, we already got the complete edition.
Yeah. So the remaster.
Yes.
But I was wondering, I'm wondering if like there's gonna be like a mod like a week or two later that's gonna have everything that's.
I don't even think we need a mod because the thing of
because it's just skins basically, right? So if it's just skins, I just figured y'all might put the remaster out on PC before PlayStation does. If it's just skins,
I'm just saying, but the skin, but I mean, okay, if you want to add custom skins, sure, I've always had the mod packs for that. But the thing about it is, the game already looks amazing on the PC. That's like the best place to play it. Literally, the graphics are amped up to the umpteenth degree. I'm not saying that that PlayStation 5 doesn't have have enhancements, but we literally got the heart of like ray tracing, especially you have NVIDIA graphics cards. You can make this game look 100 times better. They already created mods for ray tracing before even Horizon got ray tracing. People already have done that.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's kind of why I'm asking you, like, because a lot of the things that the remaster are bringing are things that can already get mods. Basically.
Yeah, we can already achieve through PC and mods. Yes, then. So it's really the Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. Both are the same thing to me. It's unnecessary, especially for me on PC. I'm just like, well, at least you PlayStation people are finally getting another game that's getting upscaled, and they're not they are charging you guys. Actually, that sucks.
So in this particular instance, Horizon Zero Dawn remaster in this case was kind of a waste of money.
Yeah, but I don't see the listing. It just shows Zero Dawn Complete Edition. It shows that it's getting it shows getting an update, but it's not. It's just getting an update.
The remaster was listed
on the show. Okay, yeah, because I'm on the Steam page. I mean, I see a remaster update for the existing Horizon Zero Dawn I already got on PC. So I'm about to say, because there ain't no way in hell we will pay another $50.
Well, it's only a $10 upgrade if you have the original $10 upgrade. The remaster.
Man, yeah, if they did it on PC, oh my god, man. Whew. That would be the talk of the week. That whole show will get ruined because of that. That will overshadow this good that PlayStation show.
They didn't say for PC there's a $10 upgrade path. They just said if you have Horizon Zero Dawn, upgrade the remaster package.
I see, but yeah. I like I said, I saw the update. It looks like we don't have to pay for a game. We just get a free update, and because we already can upscale the game to the umpteenth degree, so there's no point of charging PC players. Plus, PC gaming community would just throw a fit. They'll go crazy.
Wow.
But as far as the Xbox showcase, there was one game that like stood out to me. That was a Japanese JRPG game. It's like Altair Yama or Yima.
Altair, not Altair.
Yeah, that.
It was Altair Yuma.
Yeah, Altair Yuma. Thank you. Yeah, that game stood out to me, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, a cool looking JRPG game."
Basically,
they had three that really stood out to me.
Are you aware with the Atelier franchise?
No, I'm not.
It's not your typical it's not your typical JRPG. It's way heavy focused on alchemy.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I was like, you know what? I'm game. I was like, okay, this looks cool. I like this. Also, another game stood out was Slitherhead. I'm glad to see a reappearance of Slitherhead. I was like the whole parasite taking over people's bodies and having blood swords. I was like blood guns, blood spikes. I was like, yeah, this is cool. Just Trails of Mana, Legend of Mana, that also stood out. I was like, I haven't yet to play that game.
I bought
I've
Vision of
been
Mana
stuck.
and I haven't had it. I'm gonna touch it.
Man, yeah, I know. It sucks. It's like holiday season's coming, and apparently my family's already planning for Thanksgiving dinner and stuff. So,
Nah, you need to touch that metaphor demo, bro.
The metaphor demo.
I'm gonna touch them both. I'm gonna touch them both.
Yeah, no, daddy. But yeah, but that's pretty much about it. That was like the biggest things that stood out towards me. Also, my girl, she actually likes the metaphor refran Tazo. Apparently, believe that game was supposed to be like a game inspired or a game that was made by the same developers who made the Persona series.
Oh, if
She's
you watch the original trailer for that game, it's not, they advertised it as all the people who have worked on the most legendary RPGs over the past like 20 years came together to make that. How they advertised it.
Yeah, it looks okay. I was like, I'll check it out. Little Persona theme. Okay, cool. We'll look into this. But yeah, pretty much I say both shows were good overall. I do think the only thing I could really point out that I did not like was literally the Horizon Zero Dawn like upscaling remaster crap. I don't know why you guys need that. Honestly, the fact that they're making you guys pay $10 to upgrade that is just that's just like where's Sony putting their money at? They could have put their money in anywhere else.
The thing is, it's a cheap way to make more money.
It is not a good way.
No one said whether it's good or bad, but it's a minimal investment that is going to yield a high return. Because a lot of people that are fans of the Horizon franchise will gladly pay $10 to upgrade next version. And if you think about it, if you sold 10 million copies and 4 million paid $10 to upgrade, that's a nice little chunk of change for basically adding a couple skins.
Do I really want to go through that story? I mean, don't get me wrong, Horizon Zero Dawn was a great story. It's just
people will pay people will pay that $10 and never boot up Horizon. There will be people.
Yeah, they will. I'm not, because I got the platinum in the game, but other will. I know for a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
if you have the money, $10 is nothing. That's the age group.
I mean, I guess. I mean, that's probably if that's their objective, then sure, that's unfortunate. But I mean, it's already a good looking game, so it's just like upscale it. I was like, me personally, I would not go through the whole story again. I already went through the story once; it was good, and I haven't even yet to play Forbidden West yet.
I haven't finished the DLC for it, so that'd be the only reason.
Yeah. So, but overall, I think both. It's not even DLC, but yeah, overall I think both shows were good. This show was really good. It's cool to see the VR stuff was like look really good competing with on the PC side with the VRs. It still sucks that the PlayStation V2 VR2 is $500, but then again the MetaQuest 3 just is starting to come out and we saw the price of that, so these VRs are about to like cost as much as goddamn consoles and gaming PCs at this point.
The thing about the MetaQuest though is that it depends on.
Yeah, that's why I'm about to. I will say that yes.
The PlayStation VR is not PS5 or you connect to an order work. You can buy a MetaQuest, not have a PC, not have a console play the internet.
Yeah, with the $200-$300 difference, you get a whole VR experience compared to a place plays a $500 where you still have to pay an extra $500 or $400 minimum or $450 for the PlayStation 5. So it just sucks. It just sucks that the cost of entry for VR and PlayStation is just way too high, in my opinion.
Cost of entry to gaming in general is high.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts. Both shows were good. I think the Xbox show was slightly a little better. PlayStation really did have cool VR stuff, but yeah, the Horizon thing was just funny to me.
All right, so we got everyone's opinions on the Tokyo. So we can go ahead and jump into our second topic of today. which would be Palworld gets sued by Nintendo. And this is a really interesting lawsuit. It stands a chance to change how games are potentially made in the industry, because this is not um the typical lawsuit where you're suing them for imitating your art or something like that, like saying you have a character or something like that. I think that's kind of what people were expecting. But this is a patent lawsuit. So they are going after the creators of Palworld based on their game design. So basically, if you're using the same, there's going to be a precedent set in law case, lawsuit, that if Nintendo wins, you'll be able to go after anyone who signs enter as you if you're
They're
genre or
not even the
style.
original.
Well, it doesn't matter. They own the patent that they're suing about. So
Only in Japan, not in the United States.
I understand, but they are setting a dangerous precedent for the industry. There could be lawsuits anytime a new entrant comes to the industry and threatens the big dog on the block. So there's a huge precedent that is about to be set in this case, and I think everyone's looking at Japan comes with the whole Power thing. And another thing, as a result of this lawsuit in Japan, Power World launched on the PlayStation last week at the end of the PlayStation 5 showcase everywhere but Japan. It cannot be sold in Japan PlayStation. Also, so with that said, Nappy started talking on it first, so I'm gonna let him get first crack at this topic. What are your thoughts on Nintendo's Power World in regard to the whole patent?
Nintendo, you suck. um, I mean, after I already told you guys earlier about how they went after Ryu Jinx, and they literally are going after also copyright striking all the YouTubers who are emulating their games on anything that is Nintendo. I just don't understand why can't they just make a better Pokemon game that we all know and love. And honestly, it's like because at first, like we were talking about the game mechanics. At first, like I was hearing a lot of things, but the one thing that was like confirmed was the fact that when they filed this patent, it got approved in August, and then they sue. Then they sue Pocket Pair in September. I'm just like, what the fuck? So you telling me they just got this patent in Japan this year after Power World released, just to sue Pocket Pair for Power World? I'm just like, this is a nasty move in Nintendo. I get it. You kind of rely on your hardware sales. You were really protective of your IPs, but this isn't the way to go, man. Just make a better Pokemon game. And also, we do have something that remind me of Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, for example. The whole Nemesis system. WB patent the whole Nemesis system. So no other game can use that Nemesis system unless they are Power World. I mean, not Power. No, unless they're all made by WB themselves, no one can use that Nemesis system for Shadow of War, which it sucks now because it's like that it just breaks innovation. Like you doesn't allow any other creators to like have like an idea and then just like build on part of it to make it something their own. No, then now they gotta be afraid of these lawsuits and patents and stuff. And I have a feeling, me personally, I think that Nintendo is suing Pocket Pair, not necessarily to like try to win the fight, but more so just to try to drain Pocket Pair's pockets, literally. Like they have a lot more money than Pocket Pair does, even though Power World was successful and it just recently launched on the PlayStation 5. What Nintendo doing to me is this is just grimy. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, pretty
I've never heard of a company that filed a patent and like one and this in a year after after a competitor came out, got improved in one country and then just immediately went on and started suing the company. To me, that's just insane. So I don't want it to be like another Shadow of War where where the Nemesis system is locked to a company, and we ain't going to see that. Like, we're not going to see that in any other games but like Shadow of War, fortunately. And nobody's playing Shadow of War anymore, so it sucks. I really hope this goes through. I hope Nintendo loses, and I hope Japan realizes that that they can't go through with this patent, or they realize that this game already came out before the patent, so they shouldn't be able to touch Palworld. Plus, Palworld is the game, even though it's similar, the gameplay is unique enough and it's different in its own way. It's not going to be Pokemon. And let's be honest. I mean, every time a Pokemon game is going to come out, it's going to do well on Nintendo. I mean, people just going to buy Pokemon just because it's Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we know.
saw it with the last Pokemon game that came out broken, and yet it broke record.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, this is stupid.
Well, I think Pokemon has gone too long without a true competitor, and this is their first glance at a competitor, but the competitor is also on a better piece of hardware now. I think they're kind of worried. I don't know why, because they have the TV show and all this other stuff, but I do think there's a certain concern of like losing market share. That Pokemon has dominated for so long, but it's crazy because we saw the same thing happen with Monster Hunter, that game that released earlier this year. That was kind of like a Monster Hunter competitor. Didn't do so well. I can't think of the name of it.
You talking about the Japanese one where you can create boxes and stuff?
Called Wild Heart.
Yeah, Wild Hearts.
Wild Heart. No, Capcom didn't care. That game, it just didn't perform very well.
Yeah,
and
it did. That's what I'm saying.
It's not Capcom. It's EA.
It's EA. I don't know who made the game. No, but Capcom makes.
I know, because I played it.
Capcom
it's
makes.
EA.
Capcom makes Monster Hunter. That's what.
Oh, there's a lot of Monster Hunter clones. Yeah, Capcom doesn't care because they know Monster Hunter is going to be Capcom's, like, that's their baby.
But the thing is, they innovate Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter doesn't stay the same; it gets better. Versus Pokemon, it doesn't necessarily get better. They just give you new regions, and they make new random Pokemon that don't always make sense. And they just say, "Hey, we'll make 2 different versions and make you buy it twice if you want to catch all the Pokemon." I think their biggest innovation to Pokemon came when they did Arceus, and it really just changed the gameplay mechanic of how you played the game. But in general, it's been a pretty stagnant franchise for the better half of the decade. So it's a shame they're getting sued, but I'm glad that PlayStation saw it as a threat. It caused make some innovations to Pokemon franchise and make it better, because I do love Pokemon games. So if you make them better, definitely get me.
This also means that, like, if this patent does go through worldwide, it's going to suck. That means that will be the second gameplay mechanic that is locked behind a company.
I mean, they're trying to say you can't throw a ball to catch.
They said that then you can't ride monsters either, or some other stuff. Like, they're trying to the patent a gameplay mechanic thing. Is honestly, I don't agree with it.
But you ride
I also don't agree.
Millions of games.
Yeah, but it's their ways apparently how it takes off, and it was weird how they described it. I mean, I wish Kofi was here because he probably can read the Japanese articles and actually translate everything for us.
Yeah.
But it's honestly sad, and it's just and what kills me the most is you file a patent after Palworld came out, and then you decide to sue Palworld Pocket Pair. Like, I didn't even know that was even possible to create a patent after a game comes out, then you can sue them, saying, "Oh, I did this first technically, so I'm let me hurry and patent this real quick, and then I can sue the guys later." You know how many companies would do that? As soon as they get a competition that does their product but better.
It's definitely interesting. With that said, I'm gonna throw this down to our Nintendo resident. Zero, what are your thoughts on this whole Nintendo suing Pocket Pair in regards to Palworld?
There are a couple. It's a large sort of kind of convoluted thing. What I will start with is, and this is what my issue I had with the Palworld folks. And I said it way back when we first talked about Palworld. And not that you can ever really predict what a mega corporation is going to do, but like you can sort of kind of predict what a mega corporation is going to do. And it's just frustrating that like there's so much of this game that is so very similar to not just Pokemon, but very specifically Pokemon Legends of Arceus. That's where it's all coming from. It's everything is stemming from Arceus very specifically.
Yeah.
And it's just like you just didn't have to. And I know why you do, because the closer you get to Pokemon, the easier it is for people to get to you. But people latched on this game very, very well. I still stand by the idea that it's not really Pokemon, nor is it personally, I think, the game that Pokemon fans want Game Freak to make. Because I don't think we want to play Ark Survival. I don't enjoy Ark Survival. Yeah, but with that being said, Nintendo, I don't like the precedent that they want to set, nor do I think this is something that they should be doing. This is one of those technically correct by the letter of the law situations, which the letter of the law doesn't always mean it's right. It just means it's the law. Very specifically, I've pulled up a bit about it. Everything seems to be focusing around one very specific patent, and that is patent 7545191, which is described as aiming a capture item, Pokeball, at a character placed on a field, Pokemon, releasing the capture item in a direction determined by player input, judgment of whether capturing is successful or not upon the contact between the capture item and the Pokemon, and changing of the Pokemon status to owned to the player when capturing is successful. In addition, the patent also covers the mechanic of having the creature probability displayed on the player, regardless of whether it uses colors, graphics, or numbers. So the overall issue seems to be right around this, right here. And focusing on, and in that sense, Palworld is almost one-to-one just like Pokemon. Even down to it's an actual spear that you're using to capture pals. Which, if you look at all the other capture games, right? Like Shin Megami has it, Persona has it, J Cocoon had it. There's a gang of Mega Man has it. Like there's a gang of games that do the capture mechanics. All of them have kind of steered clear from the very specific thing that is the Pokeball. And good, for whatever reason, balls don't always work in whatever setting you're supposed to put them in. But nobody's going to get confused, and no patent is going to be touched upon in that way. Whereas Palworld is edging as close to the line as possible to get it done. And when you edge that close to the line, you get people's attention, whether good, bad, or indifferent about it. Now, this isn't to say I agree with Nintendo's decision. In fact, I agree to disagree with it fully. I don't think this is necessary. I think it's overextending. And I do think it will set a bad precedent, particularly in Japan. I don't think, and just from what I've been reading, a lot of other legal scholars, because I'm not a legal scholar, nor do I know patent law even in the slightest. But they seem to believe, like, to the larger global space, it's not going to get very far. But to Japan, it might be a very serious issue and could hurt other companies, especially because it seems to have happened retroactively. Like Nappy said, it popped up in August, which would then make sense as to why Nintendo was so quiet for so long during the height of Palworld's sort of run. Like, they were surprisingly quiet. All they said was, we will look into it. And I had thought that was it. I was under the assumption that they were like, it's not that we're going to leave it be. We have bigger fish to fry. Wrong. They were waiting for this patent to go through so then they can do whatever they needed to do. which I just think is it's bad form all the way around. Like, especially because, and again, as a person who doesn't understand patent law, I don't understand how a concept can already exist and then you make a patent for it, and now I can't use that concept anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I
I have a
fundamentally.
question.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
do have one question for you, Zero. Since you looked at the actual patent, does it have a filing date? Because I know the filing date and the actual like approved date are different usually.
Yeah,
Because
they are different.
that's the only way I can somewhat justify this. Because if the filing date's like also in August or in some case like a couple months after Palworld came out, then I'm it's still stupid. That to me, then my opinion still stands on that.
At least for the US, you can file a patent and it can take years and years for the patent actually.
Yeah, but and let's be honest here. Like anything else, like you have enough money, pull, and influence. Years can take days, weeks, or months. And Nintendo is if anybody can make it happen, Nintendo probably could make it happen. To answer your question, Nappy, unfortunately, I do not. I will look into see if I can figure out when it was filed. Oh wait, hold on. The application was filed in July.
What? So okay, so 2 months after they went out. Oh my god! So
I could be reading this wrong, but I'm pulling this particularly from Google Patents, but Japan patent, blah blah blah. Application filed by Nintendo 7/30/2024.
Yeah,
application granted on 9/4/2024.
That sounds right. Sounds about right. Sounds like you got your dates right.
And it will not expire until December 2nd, 2041.
2041. Damn.
Which is absurd.
Yeah, patents are granted for I think at least like 20 years at a time.
Yeah. Even still, but I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from you, Zero.
That's no. It is, yeah. So I don't agree with this in the slightest. Again, it's bad form all around. And it's frustrating to. I want Palworld to exist because it should exist. They did what they needed to do. They made the game. That's fine. I don't want them to not exist because of some technical letter of the law that I think does more harm to the industry than good. This isn't like shutting down emulator sites. This isn't like stopping people from posting videos before games that come out. This is seemingly arbitrarily taking away a mechanic that isn't even, to me, that recognizable with the Pokemon brand. So I don't even understand like why you want to lean on this so heavy. Like the brand itself is not built around the throwing mechanic. The throwing mechanic is fun and it's cool, but I think the brand in itself is larger than just that specific mechanic. And so overall, I hope that they lose. It's hard to imagine Nintendo losing. Because this is just what they do. But, and I have no sense of what Japanese courts do or how they're going to lean towards any type of these things. So, I hope Palworld can at least come out of here unscathed. My general hope is that if all they have to do is effectively change, now I know it's more work to go in and actually change a mechanic itself, but if all they have to do is just change how we're doing the capturing, and quite frankly, tearing your spears into cubes, I think Palworld can survive this if they have to change, and they'll get a wind swell of support from people who are very angry at Nintendo for doing so. But I'm not a fan, man. I think it's bad form. Nappy, you brought up the Nemesis system with WB. It's absurd that no one else can do something like that. Namco had patented games on their loading screens, so no one else could do it at the time. It's ridiculous. And I really think the industry might be a little bit better off if companies don't engage in this type of litigation.
Yeah, Yobi just sent me an article where one of the lead artists just like basically admitted that they kind of plagiarized Pokemon's art style. Um, but it but the thing is, in regards to that admission that they plagiarized the art style, it's irrelevant to this particular case because they're not filing a copyright lawsuit. They're filing
Right.
a patent lawsuit, which is
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Yes, I agree with you. Why did so for me it feels like Palword wanted Nintendo's attention and they got it. Plain and simple. Why would you even use their design?
because
Like if you look,
they want to make
if
a
you
hit.
look,
Want to make a hit.
yeah, you're literally like there are other Pokemon like games that have existed, and we just got. I'm not right now, but we got a part 2 of a game. It's a Pokemon clone, you can say it. It's on PlayStation. I forgot what's called, something Tamo something.
Temtem.
Uh, hmm?
Temtem.
Temtem.
Temtem,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Temtem, thank you. Why Nintendo didn't touch Temtem? They could have.
It didn't get the marketing of Microsoft.
Well, the thing
Well,
is,
no, but
I
also
don't think
Temtem
it
is
is.
also Temtem is
I
also more has a summoning mechanic closer to Monster Rancher than it does
yes,
fucking
yes,
Pokemon.
yeah.
yeah, but to me it feels like Palworld wanted Nintendo attention. When they got Nintendo attention, now they're scrambling back. That's what feel like. Yes, yes. What call it? We're worse off with patent being patent, no pun intended. But at the same time, why poke the bear?
well,
Like, I don't get it. You,
I
out
get
of
it.
all companies, Nintendo, you wanna poke the bear at Nintendo.
All right, so the reason that they did it, the reason they went, well, I'm not gonna say why they went with the mechanic. I mean, I don't feel like the mechanic is very Pokemon like from when I played it because it's not as rewarding as Pokemon is when it comes to catching Pokemon and like it's if you lose a Pokeball, you lose it. You got to go find a whole nother Pokeball. Like you might throw a Pokeball and not even hit your target, and that Pokeball is just lost. You can't just go over there and pick it back up. And Power World, which kind of drove me crazy. Um, I don't know if it drove Nappy crazy. But Nappy plays a lot more. But he plays on PC, so it's just point and click. It's gonna go exactly where he wants it.
No. Try dying in the middle of the ocean and all your pals just go into the ocean.
Yeah, so
You can't even recover them.
yeah, it's not as rewarding as Pokemon for sure. But the reason that they did it is because when you see those pals, it makes you think of Pokemon, even though they may not.
Because of their design.
Yeah, but even the designs of the pals that don't look like quote unquote Pokemon, they remind you of Pokemon. Like even if it's not a one for one of a Pikachu, like the electric Pokemon that they have like on the cover, it reminds you of a Pikachu. Like it has the same colors and the zigzags on it. It reminds you of Pokemon to the point where my kids saw Power World during the PlayStation showcase, and they was like, "Is that a Pokemon game?" And I was like, "No, it's a game called Power World." So, and my kids aren't even big Pokemon kids, but they saw it. It was like, "Oh, it reminds me of Pokemon." That's why they did it. They wanted you to associate their game with an already world-renowned popular product. That's why they.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm watching that Pikachu clone. Yeah, he does look like a Pikachu clone. He look more like Electabuzz
Yeah, that's
than
what
a
Yobi.
Pikachu clone.
That's what Yobi just said. But I just I'm
Yeah.
just talking about the fur pattern reminded me of
I
Pikachu a
got you
little
on
bit.
that end, but then yeah, it's a double. It's not a double edge. It's a triple edge sword. First, they they took Pokemon quote unquote concept, which is the catching. That's number one. Number two, they used their design. And number three, they made it so fucking similar. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, for example, the game that I'm playing, Bloomtown,
Yeah.
not once did I think, okay, this is a Persona ripoff. Yes, it's a Persona clone, but it still stood on its own 2 feet.
Well, when I played Power World, I definitely didn't think it was a Pokemon ripoff. It feels a lot different than a Pokemon game. And I was kind of,
Yeah,
me
I think
personally, I
what
was disappointed it didn't feel more like a Pokemon game when I first played it. It's a very different game, even though the character models may kind of look similar to other Pokemon.
I think what was so the Blood Zero.
I mean, I don't I agree with you, and I agree with you both. Like, I said earlier, or at least when we first talked about Palword way back when, I think you do a disservice to this game by completely comparing it to Pokemon because they're doing some different things.
Feels way different.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and like I agree with you, Omar, and like I don't. It's not disagree, but like I still don't like Nintendo, even though I agree, don't poke the bear that is Nintendo. But technically, you should be able to, like, without
Mm,
getting weirdly litigious in that way, without it
I
being like,
agree with you. I agree with you, but come on, you know the four people
right. That's
said
what I mean.
no.
It's like I
It's
just don't like.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I
I
don't like giving Nintendo the benefit of doubt of just being like, oh, hey guys, we got to walk on eggshells when we get around these. So it's like, no, fuck that. Like, if they are in their legal right to do so, then they should be able to do so. And it's
I
just frustrating on Power World side because you got like Anubis and Lucario looking almost exactly the same, or Foxfire and Vulpix almost look exactly the same, or Lamball and Woolen. I can't remember the Pokemon equivalent. But then they knock it out of the park with like a design like Depresso. And so it's like you can do something interesting and unique, and you still decided to like tread that line just as close as you can, and it's frustrating. And there's a part of me that wonders like, what if like if everybody likes Power Word so much, what if Power Word had stolen Temtem's designs? Gameplay is exactly the same, but they look more
nobody
like
had,
Temtem's.
nobody would have said anything because Temtem is just there. It's doing its own thing.
I mean,
But
I mean,
but Pokemon is like you are playing with fire with this one. Not only that, it's like to me it feels like they wanted that attention. And
well,
not that they have they gotten it. I think maybe I'm wrong. What I think happened is this: because they were backed by Microsoft, they became brazen with this one. They thought we can do it, and lo and behold,
well, they're
uh,
more backed by PlayStation than they are Microsoft at the moment.
they were first backed by Microsoft
Yeah,
with the
Microsoft was the
whole
first one that kind of carried it, but as of right,
yeah.
I think PlayStation, I think the deal that I won't say PlayStation, the deal that they made with Sony, I think was more threatening than anything they had with PlayStation because they signed an IP deal with Sony, that allowed that covered music and it covered the creation of a TV show, and I think that kind of sparked this more than anything else because once
I actually well, I agree with you that that would have made it different. I think this patent have been in work before the signing.
no, because the patent was filed in July. The signing
And
happened, I think, in what, May?
August, or no,
No,
they
no, no,
said
no.
they.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about PlayStation and Pal World coming to a deal. I think that happened in like May, where they came to a deal with the music and the TV right. And then we was like, oh yeah, if they got the music and the TV rights, the game is definitely going to PlayStation soon.
Then it's interesting to see if Sony is going to defend them or not.
From the article that Yobi sent me, if Nintendo wins, then they will be able to go after Sony as well. For anything that they make in regards
Interesting.
to Palworld. So Nintendo be able to go after Sony and Pocket Pair. Xbox signed a technical agreement, so they basically supported like their development of the game. So it wouldn't. I don't think they're at much full risk. They just kind of help them like get their stuff up and running.
Interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I'm saying interesting a lot because it's genuinely an interesting situation.
It is
Again,
interesting because this is like it's an interesting situation to where you have these godfathers of the industry who have made these titles, and if they decide to make patents, they can just kind of squash new entrants who dare to be creative and innovate on previous mechanics. So like before Call of Duty, I believe there was Medal of Honor.
yeah,
That was the big game. Um, so Call of Duty popped up. What if Medal of Honor was like, oh, can't make more games we make? And you squash Call of Duty. Call of Duty never becomes Call of Duty because Medal of Honor squashes. You know, um, Destiny comes out and Halo's like, Xbox is like, this is too close to Halo. We're gonna patent to you. You know, like there's so many different games that we can point to that are inspired by other games. Like it's a dangerous precedent for us as fans of games.
I agree.
I'm not even gonna look at it from a legal perspective. I'm looking at it as a gamer at this moment, and it's just a dangerous precedent that like anytime a new entrant comes in, they could be smashed by one of the godfathers or top dogs of particular genres. Like like me in the beginning of the show in the "What's on Your Mind" segment, I shitted on Madden for what they did. Well, if someone else makes a football game, who's to say EA can't put out a patent lawsuit talking about passing mechanics that you can no longer use when you make a football game? It has to be different um because of yada yada yada. So now like instead of pressing a button to throw the ball, you have to use like the analog stick or something stupid. That just like
That's terrible.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's dumb, and it really it sets a precedent that could be a threat to creativity in the industry as a whole, to innovation in the industry as a whole, to new entrants becoming the dominant player as a whole. From a studio being able to go from single A indie to triple A, because the moment that someone sees that they have something that could be something, they squash them with cease and desist and patent loss before they ever get a chance to really gain their leg. It's it's
The only
it's a
thing,
very dangerous precedent.
yeah, the only thing that I can think PlayStation have a leg to stand on is saying that what happened, which is Nintendo didn't own the patent beforehand, and the game existed before the patent.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
Well,
interesting who is going to win this one. Cause if Nintendo wins this one, oh, you bet your money it's gonna set such a big precedent that's not even funny.
well, I will
But
say,
yeah,
in Pocket Pair's instance, I don't think Pocket Pair is alone. I think Pocket Pair will get support from big players in the industry because it does set a dangerous precedent. We see it in the tech industry all the time. There's certain high profile cases that pop up where like a chip manufacturer might get, or someone comes out with a new type of product that's kind of a threat to other products in the industry, and you'll see a whole bunch of companies come up to kind of battle that in court. I don't think Pocket Pair is going to be alone in this. I'm not saying Microsoft is going to send their lawyers, particularly, or Sony's send their lawyers, but there will be support from third party for Pocket Pair. I do believe that will take place from major players in the industry, whether it be Tencent, Microsoft, Koei Temco, because it's just a dangerous precedent that it's set, where like basically anyone can be sued, do any type of innovation or copy any type of mechanic that was previous game that was ever created. I do think Pocket Pair will get some support in that.
If let's say Koei, if anyone intervene and show support to Palworld, would Nintendo retaliate then with such company?
All right,
This
so
is going to be interesting.
Nintendo is unique in the sense of Nintendo is a first party device that doesn't receive a ton of third party support, so it's kind of hard for them to retaliate. Because
I would say, just to add to you, there's also, I think you got to remember, there's two companies involved here.
yeah, Game
It's
Freak.
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company.
Game Freak, eh?
Well, no, Game Freak falls under the Pokemon Company, I believe. So, like, and yes, I know, like, it's hard to separate the two, but they are two separate companies. And so, like, you deal with it that way. I don't think that Nintendo wants to get into a big knockdown, drag out. I don't think that's their motive. I don't think that's their MO.
Okay, so but the thing is, we are in an uncharted water with this one, so their MO could be different.
Yeah, this is something that we haven't seen. I think.
Yeah, like this is literally a game that came out and after it the patent became a thing.
I'll say this.
Like I don't know if this even can hold in court.
If
That would
They hold in Japan's apparently.
Well, it hasn't held. They've just been, they've been sued for it, but they haven't had their day in court. So
if it get recognized in court, it's over. Can you imagine how many things can be able to get patented?
Exactly. Like, this is bad. Like, you could be like, yo, man, you can't have you can't have tires on your car in a driving game, or
this can
you
go
don't have a
beyond
jump.
even
You don't have a
gaming.
jump button. Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like,
think about
they
this.
know better.
Think about you in America where you go to Aldi's. Aldi's wouldn't exist if this is possible. If companies can do something like this, patent something after a competitor came out with something.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is
Bro.
a unique situation. I'll say that much. I'm not. I don't have a dog in the fight other than I hope that this doesn't have long lasting ramifications in the industry. So that's kind of
If
where I stand.
this goes
I know.
on, it's over.
Yeah,
I don't think you can recover from it. If anyone want to say anything, Nintendo got away with it. Why can't we?
Well, right now it's only limited to Japan. So if they win in Japan, this could be horrible for Japan because you could have a whole slew of games to start missing because of the threat.
Not only that, if they will in Japan, what makes them not try their luck with outside of Japan?
Different.
I mean,
different.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Different countries have different views on patent law. So, not saying, and I mean, I'm sure Nintendo is willing to fight everywhere in the world, to secure what they think is right for theirs. But I don't think they're guaranteed. They chose Japan specifically because that's the place that felt like they had the potential to win, because that's not even Pocket Pair's biggest market. Probably, if anything, it's probably Palword's smallest market, because I don't know if you know this, but basically when Palworld launched, Nintendo put a gag order on anyone in Japan talking about the game. like you couldn't talk about it on the radio. They made pop stars sign deals not to talk about Palworld. Like you can't talk about Palworld in Japan. Like Nintendo made sure of that. So it's probably not a big game there. It's probably um the smallest market that game existed because Nintendo did everything they could, like make sure no one in Japan even knew the game.
It's so how was they able to do that? So how is that legal?
They got the laws in Japan are different, and they got that type of money. And you can, I mean, they're signing deals with individuals and companies. I mean, there's no real law that stops a company from paying an individual not to talk about the game. So
Hmm.
they were like, but go ahead, go request some girl.
Oh, I would say it's much more of an immoral practice anyway. Like historically, back in the great video game wars, like the Sega versus Nintendo, like Nintendo would sort of strong arm people in the sense that like you can't sell Sega games in your store. And if you do sell Sega games in your store, that's fine. We will never sell a Nintendo again in your store ever again. And at the
The
time,
blacklisting, huh?
yeah, and at the time, Nintendo was big, so you needed that Nintendo revenue, right? Like if you're a toy store, you definitely need a Nintendo in your toy store. It's definitely immoral, but I'm sure we all know pretty much. Sure each one of the big three of these companies regularly participates in this type of industry. So some just are more outwards about it than others.
It may not be gaming, but they all do it in
Yeah,
bunch
in
of
their
different.
own little ways.
Yeah, may not all be
Mhm.
gaming related, but they all. Um, and that's why it's so dangerous what's happening in our world. Um, because it's like basically trying to stymie the little guy. And I'm not saying Power World didn't do something wrong. I'm just saying specifically what Nintendo is suing for.
They kind
That
of did,
yeah,
but
I'm not saying that Power World is faultless. I'm just saying whatever. I'm saying exactly what Nintendo is suing for is setting a dangerous precedent in
mhm.
why. That's what I'm. So I don't want listeners that catch this live or later on to think that I'm defending Pocket Pair. I'm not. I'm just talking about the dangerous precedent loss sets for future games down the road. Um, where interest coming to the market.
Like yeah, no, we are PlayStation fan, Nintendo fan, and Xbox fan, and we're all on the agreement that Nintendo winning would absolutely set a disaster precedent.
Now, I think everyone got an opinion in except Jubei. He didn't get a strong. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's I think entertainment as a lot of industries would change if something like this actually had legs in court. Um, that's it's just wild to think about that they're so petty that they're willing to do that. Like Nintendo just prints money, bro. Like why are you threatened by this little dev that at the end of the day isn't even doing what your game does? That's not the point. We're not talking about collecting badges and shit. Like you know what I mean? That's the point of Pokemon: collecting monsters and collecting badges. That's that's it. Like we're collecting monsters, sure, but we're also using them to build bases and shit. Like they're diametrically opposed. I just don't get how this is even going to be heard by someone, with a gavel, because that's wild to me. Um, I hope it gets dismissed. And that's the end of it. But it just worries me that we're if that happens, we're treading a path that we can't really come back from. Um, because then it'll literally just be the petty wars. Like, yep, yeah, like you can't use a jump button now, or something similar. You know what I mean? Like that's not good. Oh, you can't collect things in a platformer because we did it already. Like, okay, you literally take out like 80% of the game. Yeah, it's scary times, and I want honestly just no parts of it.
So that said, we're pushing up against the clock, going into dark waters here as far as time concerns. Go ahead and get into our final topic of tonight, which is Ubisoft blames the gamer. Whew.
Oh yeah,
This is
a
this
rough
is
one.
this is an interesting one. So, for those who don't know, Star Wars Outlaws released, I think in the beginning or end of August, and during that time, the game has not performed well. It did not launch in the greatest state. Let's preface this, and this is the second Star Wars game this generation, third Star Wars game that launched recently, that launched in a poor state. I think that played a part, not necessarily doing the best. But yes, this game did not sell the best, and as a result of it not selling the best, CEO of Ubisoft blamed gamers specifically and their high demand um when it comes to game release. Um that's an interesting argument. And to me, I think I'm gonna start off before I kick it off the panel by saying I get the perception that this argument is coming from someone who's not a gamer. Um and that is my initial take on his thoughts. That said, before
I
I go
mean,
off,
it's literally coming from the CEO, right?
yes,
So
yes.
we already know he don't game like that.
Um, yeah, but that so I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna start off with our boy here, uh, Omar. So what are your thoughts on Bill's comment blaming the
Oh,
gamers for the lack of success and the demand game from product take money?
okay, so I have yet to play Outlaws. Um, I've seen people enjoying it. I've seen also people talk about how bad it is. So I've seen multiple things. For me, what it feels like, they put out a game. They were so confident in it, but it's a mixture of let's give it a buck. Um, this game have faced tons, and I really mean tons. Um, Not sexual harassment, but rather people that just hate women. Um, and I think there was enough of a pushback for not buying this game that put a dent into their uh, game. Like we know, it it took them 1 month to sell 1 million, while in fact we know that Yakuza 7 or 8, it took them 3 days to sell 1 million.
Yeah, but all right. So Yakuza has an established fan, and Star Wars does too. But I remember when they announced Star Wars Outlaws, there was a lot of hype surrounding that game. It's not like people weren't hyped by the game. You
I
just
think
released it.
it's
You released a
after
shitty
the game
product.
came out. Okay, so after the game came out,
Yeah,
what was how much did it review on Meta? Do we know?
I think it's in the six.
Cause
Yeah,
huh?
it's like it is apparent that's painfully average is what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
So you know, I'm gonna piggyback off of Omar and say, if you're gonna release a game and it's not, and I mean like objectively not good because there are things that are wrong with it, not like I don't I don't think it's a good game. Like, no, I know this isn't a good game because it has this issue, that issue, that issue. It's not a complete product. What's wrong with early access? You know,
You can play it already for $15 on Ubisoft Plus.
yeah, but you have to pay
Not
that.
only that,
But the thing is, you have to pay $15 every month to do that on Ubisoft.
Yes,
It's a subscription.
that's what a lot of people did.
It's a subscription. So, and I don't have a problem with a subscription service. But what I'm saying is that if you're gonna release a game and you know it's broken, release it in early access so that people who buy the game, people who are interested in the game, are gonna buy the game knowing that the game has issues. No one buys a game in early access and expects it to be 100% perfect. If it is, that's a plus. But in this particular instance, game released should have released it in early access if you weren't going to release the complete product. I'll say the same thing with Cyberpunk 2077. If the game wasn't 100% ready, rocking and rolling when you guys were ready to launch it, early access it for 6 months, 3 months until you got the patches that you get it right. You know, let the community help fix it. That's if it's because you'll still get your money and you won't get the backlash that you got with the game. Perform poorly. If Star Wars Outlaws was in early access starting in August and it released fully in November at the beginning of the holidays, guarantee you the game would have probably sold like hotcakes if upon initial release the game had a 82 Metacritic. Guarantee. But with that said, let's move on to the next panel member. I'm gonna throw this up to Jube because I think he was excited for the game. This is one of the games that was at the Xbox showcase. It actually opened the show, and I think he was actually pretty excited for it. So let me get your thoughts on blaming the gamers for this game's lack of performance.
so Yube, you're the problem,
mhm.
I see. According to the CEO.
I'm the problem.
Hey, according
I
to the
mean,
CEO, you're the
I don't.
gamer. You're the problem.
And it has a 76 meta, so it's not horrible. 70.
I mean, that's not a terrible meta, but like, you can't put that on us. Like, we have expectations. We have a lot of things there. The onus is still on you to deliver a product. You're in the business of making money. If you want to do that, make it good. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I am not going to accept responsibility for somebody who makes way more than these fuck ups. I'm sorry.
Um,
They can sit on that.
yeah, and I do want to point out Yobi's comment. There are definitely a group of people who decide when it's convenient to be against a female character being the main character of the game. They have no problem when it's they
Exactly.
have no problem when it's Stellar Blade or Horizon or what's another game recently? Lara Croft Tomb Raider. They don't have a problem when it's games that they think should have a female character. But we're even seeing a little bit of it with Ghost of Yote. There are some people who are upset that the main protagonist is a female in that game.
Yeah, the irony was that they were actually using Ghost of Tsushima against Assassin's Creed Shadow.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're gonna be doing I'll speak on Yote. If you're gonna be doing ninjas, if you look at the history of ninjas, women were very prominent in in being a ninja in jiu-jitsu because
Yep.
they were
hmm
the best assassins. You could easily get
They
Yeah.
just
close.
don't want to play as a woman.
But
It's that blatant,
yeah,
sadly.
I mean, I don't care if I play with a woman or a man. I mean, I bought games like Dead or Alive, and I love playing with the female character. I love those. Um, so I mean, I played Tomb Raider growing up, and I never thought about the character being a female. I was never against it. I played Parasite Eve was one of my favorite games. I didn't care that Aya Brea was a woman. Like, there's a bunch of badass female characters in video games, and I've never seen a video game and said I don't want to play it because a woman's in it. The only time that I get upset about characters in video games is when I have the option to create a character and I can't create a character how I want them to look. So if you give me a game like I bought one of the Dragon Age games, couldn't make a black character. That didn't sit right with me. So I instantly stopped playing. Like, I never made it past character creation. I was like, I can't make a black character in a game where you create your own character. That so in that instance, that's the only time I'll get upset. But if you like make your own beginning to end story and make your character they look how they look, I, what you got, Navi?
Oh no, I was just laughing at your comment. That's all. I was just waiting for my turn. But if you want me to go, I can go.
No, I think Jubei was going, but like you were about to.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna. If you had something to say, go ahead and throw it in there. But if not, I'll go ahead and land my plane.
No. I'll let you land your plane. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. So I mean, the CEO, we're the problem. Like, no, you can't even manage the own toxic culture in your company. Like, don't fucking put your bullshit on us, bro. Like, yes, there's a group of people that are gonna revolt because, oh, look, I gotta play as a girl and they got cooties and shit. Well, just they get some bitches because I don't know what else to tell them. Yeah, like I'm not like people are mad about the wrong things a lot of the time when it comes to shit like this. But for him to say, "Oh, it's you guys' fault," like, no, not really. Like, make something good and nobody says shit. You can't like you're not gonna complain about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you make a great game, all that noise about female character, I think that goes out the like people were excited for Forspoken until the game was out.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that had a
I mean,
female
nobody shits on Horizon for having a female character. Like, for real. They have other reasons too, but like, um, if you make
Last of
something
Us.
good,
No one
it's
shits
good.
on Last of Us with Ellie.
Yeah.
Well, Ali had a different issue. She is lesbian, so there is that.
But all right, so you can get on her sexuality, but nobody really cared that it was a female protagonist.
Okay, so now they're labeling everything as gay and quote unquote and woke. So you're not gonna win with these people.
Woke, the people who use the term woke, it's become a racist term.
I am aware. That's why I said quote unquote.
Like what it meant, what it means now is like.
Yeah.
But Jubei, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Right,
he can go fuck himself with all that mess. I'm good.
Right. So what do you have to say to the French man over there, Nappy? Or it being your fault that Star Wars out?
First off, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to at least experience a little bit of it by subscribing to Ubisoft Plus rather than paying a full $60 for the game.
Oh, 70. Oh, y'all PC guys, y'all get.
No, well, I mean, actually, I don't know. I just know Ubisoft. I just subscribed to Ubisoft Plus, so I was curious. Didn't want to give it my full $60 or $70, but 15 just to dip my toe in it. Sure, why not? I will. Huh?
That blockbuster price.
Yeah, pretty much. I was thinking about try beat it in a month and then cancel my subscription, but I will say the game. It's just like the game is average. It's like they took Far Cry 6's like AI enemy systems and put them in here because stealth is too goddamn easy in this game. It's just like the whole fact that you can't like when you pick up a gun and then you can't like holster the gun or put it around whip it around your shoulder. It's like it's small. It's like a bunch of small little things that makes the game like it's mediocre. It's not a bad game, but it's not a good game. You can get some joy out of it, honestly, but it's not like, I guess it's because it's Star Wars and it's supposed to be this big IP and it's supposed to be this big open world galaxy third person shooter. Yeah, it's people expected more. They had their expectations high, and they got a mid game for what people thought was a high game, quality game.
The trailer was amazing when they showed the game as something that was going to be amazing.
Yeah, they did. And again, we had a high expectation and we got a mid game. Also, like I did see like some of the like the whole like, oh yeah, the woman character and stuff. And I did see that stuff and I'm annoyed of it because it's honestly it was like after the Star Wars Acolyte series when they were like, oh yeah, the woke stuff, they carried that over to this game.
Acolyte,
and like I see this. I mean, don't get me wrong, Acolyte story was bad, but I see the same YouTubers who haven't even touched the game that were complaining about Acolyte saying, yeah, they put woke garbage into this game. They're trying to make the game go. I'm just like, God damn. So maybe a CEO probably accuses them of being gamers. Some of them are, some of them are not, but it's like, it's unnecessary. It's not that bad. The whole so-called wokeness of that game, I didn't even pay attention to that crap. It didn't matter to me. It's just the gameplay is just mediocre. That's the only issue with the game. It's a mediocre game. I don't even feel like I want to finish it. The character, it's Star Wars. I mean, come on now. Princess Leia was like literally clothed for the most time, and except for the fifth movie, but who cares? But
six.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Don't kill me, Star Wars fans. But still, it's just stupid. Like, CEO, don't blame gamers. Make a better games. Don't take the goddamn AI from Far Cry 6 and then put them in Star Wars and expect me not to notice that they act exactly the same. That's why stealth is so easy in this game. I already did it in Far Cry 6. I could do it in here.
I mean, isn't it canon though that like stormtroopers and shit are like
that borderline? Is true. They are borderline stupid, and that is true. But I mean,
they got CTE.
Like, I played Jedi Survivor, man. Jedi Survivor, they got pinpoint accuracy.
They shouldn't. They supposed to miss.
Jedi Survivor.
I mean,
Jedi Survivor is carried by a fantastic story. So any deficiency in gameplay. I
say the gameplay was actually really good. It was a buggy. It came out as a buggy mess, but it still didn't stop the game from being successful.
Yeah, I like Jedi Survivor. I'm still playing. I'm slow playing, but I'm playing. I like the story. I like cow custom.
Yeah.
I like little robot or robots right now. I like.
Yeah, but overall, CEO, no. Despite all of the crazy stuff that the YouTubers been saying about your game being this woke garbage and all the other stuff, yeah, I would be kind of annoyed too, because it's like, I'm pretty sure half of them didn't even play the game. They just heard the game was bad, so they just wanted to make some YouTube revenue.
He didn't play the game.
Shitting on the game.
He just heard the game was bad.
Well, shit. God damn it, man. What the fuck? But yeah, you can't blame gamers. Overall, the gamers who actually touched the game, we all agree that it's a mediocre game. It's not necessarily a bad game, but it's not a great game. It's literally like a mid game. I'll get this game on sale and play it occasionally when I'm bored. I'm not going out of my way to play this game.
It's a competitive space. Don't release a competitive product. Expect to compete. But last but not least, Zero. Thoughts on this CEO blaming you, the game lack.
Zero.
I think it is one of those situations where it is partially right message definitely wrong messenger, and definitely wrong hill to scream this message from. Like, let's be honest here. Gamers, quote unquote, like, suck for all the reasons you guys listed earlier. Like, suck, bro. Like, it is. This used to be. No, it probably was all. They probably always suck. It is what it is. You get a bunch of sort of nerds together. This is what's gonna happen. But like, Ubisoft guy, like, I don't know, man. Like, you're part of the company that was like, it's too hard to design women in my Assassin's Creed game. You're part of the company that it was earlier this year, where they were like, oh, you need to be comfortable not owning your own games. So it's like, no, you can't say this. Like, you have no ground to stand on, especially when, from what it sounds like, you released a average product. Now, as we've talked about before, if you had managed expectations better, maybe cut the budget a little bit, perhaps this project could have been a success. As it stands, I don't know if they view it as a failure or not, but it seems as though if you're blaming other people for the issue, it seems as though you're viewing it as a bit of a failure. So you don't get to blame gamers for your poor decision making, or that you just released an average product. Just sometimes that happens. Like, there's no 100% wins in this industry, and nobody's batting 1,000. But it's easy to point at others because currently the others that are out there are kind of loud and annoying and stupid. So, I'm sure he's receiving nothing but, you see, he's watched his company receive nothing but backlash from the whole Assassin's Creed thing. And it's just like, this is stupid. Like, you guys haven't played the game yet. Like, how are you going to sit there and tell me that's bad? You've not played it. But on the same token, like, you have your own issues. Ubisoft in and of itself has its own issues. So it's hard to like take that at face value when we understand that this company doesn't always do the right things or doesn't always put out good products that we want to play and doesn't always listen to the people who are trying to help you, and be a part of it. But you don't get to blame us for your bad decision making. If the game is meh, the game is meh. And truth be told, though, that stands across the board. Like, I don't think that gamers, maybe, and maybe I have to think the thought out further. My initial thought is that I just don't think gamers can be blamed for the success or failure of a game. Not in like the true way. Like, if people don't play it, that's fine. But like, if they don't play it, it's because they're not interested in it. And even if it's really, really good, if you aren't capturing my interest, what does it matter? So I don't really agree with him. But it is very funny. I wish more developers would like just fight back at gamers. I think this is very funny. Like, that's the console war I'd like to see. Ignore Microsoft and Sony. I want devs versus gamers.
So I'm gonna ask the question to the panel and everybody can answer. I just what I've been seeing from the past couple months, with this game, like a game like Concord, just games that haven't really performed to expectations. It's like this. I think it's this misguided rhetoric that we've been getting for, I would say, the past like 4 or 5 years. And the misguided rhetoric that I'm talking about is just on social media. You hear a lot of people saying support the dev, and it comes across when you say that, it almost makes it sound like gaming is a charity, and like they don't have to compete for our dollars. They make a product and we're just supposed to buy it. And I think they've heard. I do think people in the gaming industry have heard that term enough that they do kind of expect us that they release a product and we're just supposed to buy it. I I'm starting to get that feeling, like, and it just doesn't matter the state that they released the game. If it's a little bit broken, support us,
So
and we will
that,
come. We will come through later and fix it. But like they're basically like acting like we're supposed to be charitable and purchase anything they give us. Now, I'm not pointing out a specific product, but I'm just talking about the mindset that seems to be starting to permeate amongst gamers and potentially now developers.
so to support the dev topic comment, it's not meant to say buy everything, and if you don't buy everything, that's on you. No, it's if you are excited about something, then buy it and support the dev.
Yeah, I'm not.
Nobody,
I know what I know what I know what people mean when they say it, but when it just gets repeated over and over and over again, it sets an expectation, I believe, amongst people in the and that community extends to a game, not just us customers that hear that they hear it. So how they interpret it and how we interpret it, it all the interpretation is based on what side of the fence.
I get you.
I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword on both sides.
Yeah.
I certainly don't disagree in like that developers might begin to take it more like focused and be like, we will put out a mediocre product and maybe we'll fix it later, but you guys got to support it. And if you didn't support it, well, it's really your fault. And it's like, no, give us a good product and we will support it. However, that is not always true. Because there are a million one things that can cause any product in any given moment to just not catch on or be popular or do whatever. And gamers don't always want other gamers to support the devs. The whole Palword situation is clearly right here. Nintendo put out what is not a great product in Legends of Arceus. No, not Arceus.
Whatever the latest Pokemon game.
Ruby and Sapphire. Not Ruby and Sapphire.
No, the latest one, not Ruby and Sapphire is decent, but the one that just released.
I can't remember the.
But yeah,
it's the whatever gems they are. Yeah, good games. Horrible performance. But they sold out like gangbusters, right?
Yeah, like what? Scarlet and Violet.
Scarlet and Violet. There we go. Thank you, Julian. But you know, gangbusters, one of the highest selling Pokemon games of all time. If you were to ask gamers, that's a problem. However, didn't we support the devs?
Yep.
Right?
You told the devs they're allowed to do this to us. We told them
exactly.
You
so
told the devs that it's okay to release a broken game and people are just gonna buy it.
Exactly. So then when devs release broken games and are like, well, how come you didn't buy it? And they're working off the information of like, well, because you guys buy broken games. Like you
support the devs.
Yeah, you support the devs. So like in that sense, but you know, then people are upset with Nintendo who will continuously Game Freak who will continuously put out mediocre Pokemon games. And it's like, well, if you stop supporting them a little bit, maybe they'll get their act together. So it's double edged, I think, and it's not a zero sum game because you know some devs you want to support. Super Giant Games, who makes Hades, support the devs, man. Support them. You know they're great. I love them or hate them. Naughty Dog, for the most part, support them, and honestly, support them enough so they make something different.
They're already working on it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't support Naughty Dog at this point. You got to bully because it's been way too long since they made a game, and you gotta put their feet to the fire and hold them accountable at this point.
Yeah.
The support has gone.
Yeah. Tango GameWorks, support the devs. That gets us Hi-Fi Rush 2. Come on, we needs that.
It did. You heard what happened apparently where there were 6 months build working on part 2. And,
yeah. I mean, Bend Studios support specifically the folks at Bend Studio who were making Days Gone. Let's get us another one, guys. Support them devs.
Well, that game sold
Yeah.
well. They were supported. Herman Holtz didn't like
with this
he didn't like the
one,
game, so
we bought it, we supported it. It's just the
Her-
studio behind Days Gone didn't want to make a new one. That's
no,
it.
Herman didn't want them to make a new one.
Who?
They wanted to make a new one.
No. Sony Benz themselves didn't want to. The end decision was by Sony Benz.
Okay.
They didn't want.
So,
we have this confirmation from the lunatics that was angry about Deacon being in whatchamacallit,
Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I thought it was Herman's decision, but if it was Ben, I'll ride with it.
no, it's Ben.
Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
why he's so raging.
like I guess there's a middle ground, but it's tough. It support Horizon because Horizon's a good game, as they tell me, but like also don't support Horizon for this remaster nonsense, right? Like, so or support Madden because we need a football game, but also don't support Madden because like for the past couple of years there's been poor offerings, even though this one seems to be pretty good apparently.
It's the best one in a long time, but
Yeah.
it still didn't launch feature complete with what they promised.
Right. So I don't know. Like it just feels like it's a weird two-way street that a lot of people get caught in the middle on.
Yeah. No. I like I said, I think the blanket term support to dev has started to turn into a negative. I think we're starting to see it when you get CEO comments like but with that said, close this thing out, head into the outros, getting close to midnight, if not already past midnight. So some of you guys commute to work in the morning. I don't need to go playing bumper cars while you're drinking coffee. That said, let's roll into outro. Let the baby guy go first, so they get out.
Yeah. You can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. By the time we reconvene, Metaphor will still not be out, so I'm just biding my time. I'm really excited to dive into that game. Been excited since the first reveal.
Waiting for the second baby birthday, so I don't gotta exit first once Tyler.
Oh yeah. Yep. A whole nother 11 months from now.
Omar, I know it's really, really late where you're at. Where can we find you and what?
Don't worry about me. I'm still gonna stay up for 2 more hours minimum. But yeah, you can find me at Carbon Squad on Twitter. And this Saturday, I'm actually going to go with my friend Weeb. We're gonna go to a gaming event in a city called Utrecht in the Netherlands. Kind of like Gamescom, but it's called Game Force.
Okay, it's like a smaller event. It's like a smaller game.
Yeah, it's obscure smaller event. I'm super excited. Ticket already bought. I'm gonna make some not per se documentary, but like I'm gonna make some small video about it if possible. Show the scenery and stuff like that. I'm genuinely excited because I've not been to a gaming event for a long time. But yeah, you can find me at Carmen Kotchab on Twitter and Other Player Podcast every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Great show, great conversation. Let's talk like button, share the stream out. See you next week.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. And happy. Where can we find you? And I'm just gonna say this for Yobi. When is this wall of Oh, you're muted.
I'm gonna let my camera take over. There you go, Yobi. There you go.
Oh,
Just
not enough. You gotta make it. You gotta make it more pretty. There's a controller missing up there already. We need the full feature setup.
yeah. So,
Man.
but anyway. But yes, you guys can find me on YouTube, Nabi Senshi. If you, for some reason, don't feel like going to sleep just yet, and you are curious to check out another controller review I finished the controller review for 8-Bit Do's Ultimate C2 wireless controller. So this controller is for PC and Android. It's a really great controller. This controller has 1,000 hertz pulling rate. It has Wukong theme, so I love that as well, and 2 programmable buttons. So yeah, definitely. Damn, Yobi. but yeah, if you guys want to check out a controller review, go right ahead, check this out. Another controller I'm working on. I just got this in literally today. I got the Xbox Power A Fortnite controller. So this is a wireless pro controller for Xbox Series SX, PC, and the Xbox One consoles. This is probably the cheapest pro controller you can get for
It looks pretty
for
good.
Xbox. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but if you hold this in your hand, you will definitely could tell that they cut some corners to make the price this cheap.
It doesn't have that weight footing.
This thing is light.
It does look light. I saw that when I saw you moving.
Yeah, but it's but I mean usually weight doesn't mean much to me, but the way how it feels and stuff, I mean I can see why this controller is $100, but I just got to see how this controller performs, because hey, this might be a cheap but great pro controller. It's already cheaper than the Xbox Elite controller, so we'll see.
When not that the weight makes the controller any better or worse, but typically when they want to make a product feel more premium, they add weight to it.
Trust me,
it's a selling technique that companies they'll make a product weight.
Yeah, actually funny because Power A they actually had a Vision 2 Pro. They did it on the Vision 2 Pro. People took the controller apart and literally took off the lead weights.
Yeah.
And was like, this is unnecessary. So they got away from that. But once I get this controller review done, you guys get my thoughts on this. What's funny is I'm not going to play Fortnite with this controller. I don't play Fortnite. I don't care for it. So yeah.
But it's a beautiful controller. All right.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Zero, the one who finally decided to journey to adulthood. Where can we find you?
MLB The Show, man. I'm enjoying that. Jube, when does Sparking Zero come out?
Next
10 days from now, sir. The same day as Metaphor. You can get it 3 days earlier if you have the Ultimate Edition, which I do.
So you'll probably catch me in these Sparking Zero streets.
He won't
One week. Next week, Tuesday, we should be able to play it.
He ducks spades and fighting.
I don't duck nothing. Sending out of you. Zero knows I don't duck nothing. We done it live.
Clip this.
We still need to. I should just set up like a marathon, just fighting game session, old, new, and everything in between. But yeah, of course you can find me Zero EXE pretty much everywhere. But far more important than me, find us Vitamin G Gaming. Everywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts, and I'm sure by this point, like we're also your favorite podcast. Spotify, Google, YouTube, Podbean. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. Thanks to you for always listening. You could be doing anything else, but you decided to listen to us. We will always appreciate you for that. Thanks for hanging around, and talk to you next time.
All right, see ya.
And with that said, I want to thank everyone for coming through and getting that week. My bad. I want to thank everyone for coming through and getting that weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Later.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left
heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All
Vitamin
alone.
G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.